Deep within a bleak and dismal swamp, hidden beneath its murky waters, lies the headquarters of the most sinister villains of all time. The Legion of Doom.
What up, everybody? It's Saturday Hall Live with two amazing guest hosts. On one hand, we have adorable Omnidog, who will say hi in a second, but even more adorably, we have Grayson sitting next to me. So let's have a fun Saturday night. Introduce yourself, co-host.
I am Omnidog from Omnidog's Vault, and I just got done watching 2 episodes of Arcane.
On the oldest TV I've ever seen. His TV had ports I've never heard of before. I had to Google them, and I sold TVs for 6 years professionally. It was my craft.
Maybe it's 10 years old. All I needed was a flat screen with HDMI ports. This used to be the best TV in the house. Down in the other house in the back cave. It could be 10 years old. I think it definitely is 10 years old. There's Dom of X. What up, Dom? Here's my shirt.
We're both wearing Harley Quinn shirts.
No. That's a Usagi shirt.
Okay. But he's dressed up for Harley for Christmas. We got some friends. We got Kenneth. What up? Jake and Jess.
What up, Kenny?
James Abel doing a little proud dog. Okay.
Nice,
our friend Kane. Kane messaged me and was like, hey, or she was like, you've tried to create a book club and it just, you never commit to it. Like I don't have the what's it called when you plan things, the organizational skills. So they were like, how about I help get your book club up and started with nominations and that kind of stuff. Like, let me get you the push. Yeah, let me get you the push you need to get out of the nest. And then me saying, not me getting too into the dishes and forgetting to send Omnidog the link.
I did get the link at like 7:59.
No, I sent it to you at 5 o'clock.
Oh, yeah. You didn't even create the stream until like 6:15.
I meant time zone, so it was 5 o'clock for me, which was however late for you.
Yes.
I'm in the past. We got Jeremy. Good evening.
What's up, Jeremy?
Chris. My favorite Bragg. Hello, the better...
Not my nephew, who is named the same.
My friend Korriban Hideout. Okay, so see his picture? It's a cross between... Can you name both those characters? You'll get one of them.
It looks like the Mandalorian and Wolverine.
So that is a Mandalorian helmet, but it is being worn by the Jedi who waged war against the Mandalorians. So the Mandalorians, this is old, before any of the movies, in the Old Republic, the Mandalorians went and started waging war on the Republic. And the Jedi wanted to go to war, but they're not soldiers. They're keepers of the peace. So one rogue Jedi said, you know what? I can't watch the Republic be slaughtered by this warrior tribe. You know what I mean? So he raised up an army of Jedi that revolted against the Jedi Order, and he fought the Mandalorians and took the Chief Mandalore's mask as his own. So that is my favorite Star Wars character, Darth Revan. He's been a Jedi, a Sith. Really cool.
What? When is that from?
The original Xbox game.
Oh, okay. I played KOTOR on.
That's okay. So have you beat KOTOR? Do you know the twist of KOTOR?
Dude, that was like on my original Xbox in like 2006, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm. So here's the. Can I tell you the?
I don't remember any of it.
Can I tell you the twist? So
I beat the game 20 years ago. So okay.
So you wake up as a character on the ship that's being attacked by the Sith, and the whole game is you trying to track down Revan, and then you find out the twist. You are Revan, and the Jedi mind wiped you, so you don't realize that you've been Revan the whole time.
Whoa! I don't remember that.
And the Jedi went way too far, mind wiping you.
Knights of the Old Republic. I definitely played that game and finished it.
There was 2 of them. So the big twist of the first game is that the entire time you've been retracing Revan's footsteps, you've been Revan the whole time. You got defeated in battle by the girl in that game, and then she used her mind wipe powers to make you think you were a different person because they wanted to rehabilitate you. But that's like way crossing a line as a Jedi, right?
Sure.
Okay, the Jedi shouldn't mind wipe you and make you a fake identity. I feel like we can agree that's not what a Jedi should do.
Okay.
And you weren't good enough for James. You still need to watch episode 3. He can't give you credit.
I only had time for 2, but I'm into it. It is really awesome, and I'm glad Bar convinced me to watch it because it's amazing. I've only seen 2 episodes, and I'm completely hooked.
What ports does his TV have? I think it's just VGA and RCA. No, his TV has
No, it has.
Yeah, what's it called? Super Zap mode, and you have NHL.
That's the TV. Yeah, the TV has super zapping, which I do not know what that is. I just discovered that tonight.
Yeah.
It has HDMI ports for my Fire Stick and my PlayStation 5. But then I think it's got 2 USB ports too. Those are the ones I was showing you that.
Yeah.
The Fire Stick is plugged into, what was it? MHR?
HDMI MHL, which is a
MHL.
little before my time. It's meant for being high speed, so you can plug a phone or like an iPad into it, like a tablet. But what he needs is HDMI ARC to plug it into the speakers that I sold him.
Yeah, and I don't have that.
Yes.
This was the greatest TV 10 years. I think it is 10 years old. But it serves its purpose. It's like 4K, early 4K. Maybe I don't even know if it's 4K. Everything looks great on it. The one upstairs, that's the 4K HD with a sound bar, everything else going on with it. And I'm got home with dinner and at exactly 8:03 p.m. All right, Doc.
Yeah, dinner and a show. Our friend Dom of X, Jake tossing a lie off the top. I meant my 5 o'clock, not his 5.
What up, Dom? Dom.
And then his first HD wasn't a flat panel. It had no HDMI connections.
Oh, that's interesting.
Here's the real question. How can Jake have a book club when he doesn't read any books?
Razor, good to see you with the hard-hitting question.
That's some, what's it called? Is that libel or is that slander? It's written, so it's libel, right?
But you're also reading it out loud. I think it's slander out loud and libel when it's printed.
Yes. Okay.
So it's both because you read it and he printed it.
I do read books. I just don't ever get to finish them because the new books come in and I have to swap books. So, and we have 29 out of 30 votes for the book club so far. There are some amazing nominations. So you're in the Brave and the Boys Discord. Go vote in the book club channel. You should go in there and just vote on the book you think is the worst, just to try to skew my book club in the wrong direction. Be like House of Cards with it. XR Kun is another ancient Sith. And then this is where you can vote for the book club. I'm really hope my pick was Ultimate Spider-Man by Jonathan Hickman, #1, the first trade paperback.
Okay. I
want to read that. I haven't read that yet. And then spoilers for a 20-year-old game.
Yeah. Well, I forgot it, so I remember I loved it.
It's fantastic. Old Republic expands on the mask. And then Good Evening Double J. Oh, Double J. That's a cool nickname.
Marvel Bab, always good to see you.
And I am doing dandy. I miss my wife a little bit. The cats, it's weird being a single parent to 3 cats, you know. But I'm loving it. Booster Green.
Whoa, what up, Boost?
That KOTOR remake is never coming out. Oh yeah, so they're supposed to be remaking. I think one of the first games they announced for the PlayStation 5, like years ago, was just a trailer of Revan like getting up with his 2 lightsabers. And they apparently remaking KOTOR for the PlayStation 5, but then it like the studio closed or it switched studios. There has been not a single thing of concrete news about it. And then we just caught up on Arcana. So sick.
Oh, William, yeah, it's really good. I love it so far. I might be able to watch. They're actually long episodes. They're like 40 minutes, 35 minutes. I feel like they're 40 minutes, so I might be able to see episode 3 tonight. There's no football on tomorrow, so I can watch Arcane 3, and I vow to make some recorded videos and put them up this week. That is my vow.
What if we run a poll and let the audience decide if you watch Arcana or Penguin tonight? Because I'm telling you, Penguin is the best thing DC has put out in like years.
That's what I hear.
It is so good, dude. My wife does not love DC stuff. She's as hooked as I am.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I heard the woman in it is supposed to be awesome.
Yes. So I know her from her performance in 30 Rock as Sexy Baby. So essentially they hire a female writer at like the 30 Rock because they're TV writers basically for like
Yeah,
SNL.
I've seen it.
She wears like crop tops and she's got pink pigtails and she acts like really like a sexualized version, but also infantile, you know? And there's a great twist because Liz thinks she's doing it for male attention. So she tries to overstep and tell her, you can just be yourself. And she pays the price because there's a reason she's acting like that. So
what season was that? Do you remember?
No.
That's okay. I'd like to rewatch the entire thing. So I love
and
that
then
show.
I mainly know her from two other things. She was the mother in How I Met Your Mother. And
never saw it.
Then a critically underrated movie because it came out during the pandemic. This should have been a phenomenally popular movie. Did you ever watch Palm Springs?
Never heard of it.
Andy Samberg, you know Andy Samberg from like
Oh yeah,
99.
Yeah, favorite show ever.
And it's Groundhog Day, but with two people in Palm Springs the weekend of a wedding. And it's amazing.
Wait, what did I just hear that was like Groundhog Day? Oh, the Fantastic Four. They have a Groundhog Day type situation apparently currently.
Oh, yeah, it's good. So I've mostly seen her in comedy bits. This is my first time seeing her play Sophia Falcone, famously the Hangman from Dark Victory, and it is just unbelievable, dude. That show deserves all the awards. So I really like it. And then we've had the situation, I don't know what situation, but with Zatanna dilemma. The mind wiping. Zatanna doing some mind wiping in a book that shall not be named.
Oh, yeah. Was that Identity Crisis?
I've never read Identity Crisis, but it's your favorite book, right?
Shut up. Just kidding. Is that what he said? Was that
you're gonna call me out for owning the absolute of Identity Crisis? Yes, they are. What happens to Dr. Light?
Yeah. Okay. I do remember that.
And it is a Sony television.
My TV? We don't even know the model number. It's 10 years old. It's a 10-year-old Sony. We couldn't even find the model. It's mounted on the wall, so I couldn't do anything with it.
Does anyone in the chat? Yeah, does anyone in the chat know what Mega Zap mode is? Because that sounds like some Gundam attack, like some robot that fights.
Super zapping.
So there's a conspiracy theory that Nolan, I guess, apparently is directing Spider-Man 4. He's doing a movie with Zendaya Holland. That is, I didn't know Zendaya was in it. I thought it was Tom Holland and Matt Damon, and they were supposed to be, like something with helicopters.
I don't know this conspiracy theory.
I don't think Zendaya has been announced to be in it. It's right now all we know is it's Matt Damon and Tom Holland.
In Spider-Man 4? I'd love to see Matt Damon in Spider-Man 4.
No. Christopher Nolan is doing a movie that releases a week after Spider-Man 4 because it's taking all the IMAX slots and it has Matt Damon and Tom Holland in it. But I don't think he's writing Spider-Man 4.
Doing a movie that is coincidentally being released a week after Spider-Man 4. So what?
Maybe because Tom Holland's in both. I think Tom Holland just has a busy summer.
Okay. Okay.
Everyone telling me what kind, if it was slander or libel.
Yeah, I saw that.
I recently got a new TV and speaker system. I love it. My neighbor, not so much.
Stanley sent me pictures about a month ago.
Is this your audiophile friend?
Yeah. He is a super audiophile. Stanley is from Wales. And he has the most intense setup I have ever seen. This is stuff like you display, Jake, at your shows.
Yeah.
It's
which there's one going on this weekend in DC, and I tried so hard to get to tag along so we could hang out one time. But it was for our distribution side of the business, which has a little bit less fun money than the retail side of the business. Because the distribution side is like what we're trying to grow to be as big as the retail side. But politically, the distribution sells to our competitors at our retail side. So sometimes people don't like buying from it because they feel like they're buying from their competitor, if that makes any sense. So we're trying hard to not cross the streams. Right? No one cares about the politics of distribution sales. But yeah, you got to send me that picture of Stanley setup. Because I would love to see that. Okay. Is it just me, or is it annoying when you have a whole run in omnis or hardcovers, but there's a part in the middle that's only available in trade paperbacks and stands out like a sore thumb on the shelf?
Yeah, I get it.
No, I love that.
I love that.
No, I'm just kidding. I don't know what I'm supposed to say to that. It's like, I don't think anyone loves that. Like, I look at like one of the books I have in my hall to show off, which I'll use to bring up a point. Is this one's different because it's rights issues. So like, I get it. I get it if you can't have the thing you want because of the rights. But you look at like, I guess the Incredible Hulk fans, right? Oh, it's over here. Of course, it's the bottom one of my stack. I'm just going to say it. ROM 3, that has that missing Incredible Hulk issue where ROM shows up that has never been collected before. So it would be crazy to have every Incredible Hulk Omni, and then where do you put your ROM Volume 3 that has that missing issue, you know? But
I don't own any ROM, so that is not a problem. But my X-Men, after Peter M organized it, I used to have everything by format.
Mm-hmm.
And for the most part, I still do, except for X-Men. It is now chronological, and it's on the other side of this desk, so I can't see it because it drives me nuts. It's like trade paperback, oversized hardcover, trade paperback, standard hardcover. But it's all chronological. So, but otherwise, everything's by format, except in the other room where it's DC and Independence. And
I've seen that. I've seen that room.
It's a mishmash because of my Billy shelves.
I want to read you a comment I got today that I felt like was weirdly unnecessary. So I'm not obviously going to say names or anything, but this was posted in Curtis's new Finest Facebook group. So, so I posted my review because DC approved of my video, so I got to make it go live. They maybe changed one thing. I said DC officially partnered, and they wanted me to change it to DC sent me a gift. So the very beginning of my video is an awkward dub. You know what I mean? Like those old movies. I wasn't going to reshoot the whole video because they made me move every non-DC book out of my bookshelf from behind me. A competitor video book couldn't be seen in the background. So you could imagine how much setup that took, right? So one of the things I like about the Finest, and I think a lot of people like about the Finest, is that they have visual consistency, which is a level of detail that we appreciate as collectors. And they said, why is there a heavy focus on looking amazing on the shelf? This seems to trump reading the content and force a lot of FOMO so you can buy more than you'll ever read. And I'm like, I don't think that's what I was saying, and I don't think that's what they're doing. You can buy as many or as little of the Finest as you want, but whether you have 2 or 100, they're all going to look great on the shelf. I said is,
Can you read that again? Because I don't think that makes very much sense.
Okay. So in the video, I talk about how I love the attention to detail and how they're consistent.
The spines.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
So the comment was, why is there a heavy focus on, in quotes, looking amazing on the shelf? This seems to trump reading the content and force a lot of FOMO so you can buy more than you'll ever read.
I think that person's misreading what you were saying.
Yeah. So it is what it is. I thought that was unnecessary. I think it's okay to be happy that, like, sometimes, like, when we've talked about it, like when one book's red and the other 4 are blue, like who did that? Is there just like a maniac that works? Does Loki run the DC collected editions department?
Yeah, I think we all have that sort of issue with spine. I don't have non-matching spine disorder I have it to a certain degree. I'm just like, oh, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I get it with spines. But that comment seems like he misunderstood your whole video.
Yeah. Can't win them all. Jess, don't wait on the penguin. It's top shelf. Now, chat, let me know. Do I wait for my wife to come back Monday night, or do I watch the last episode of Penguin alone?
I'll already tell you the answer to that.
Yeah. I love that I know every piece of gear he's talking about, because so before I sold hi-fi, I sold televisions. And we sell Anthem. Anthem's annoying because Anthem only lets us sell brick and mortar retail out of the shop. They don't let us sell Anthem online for whatever reason, which is like, I don't give a lot of love to Anthem because I want to sell things I can sell to everyone, you know? And SVS subs, a lot of home theater people like SVS. I prefer Rel because I think any sub can be good for home theater, but Rels are better for music. So that is my little...
And he has people come in to calibrate everything to his environment. I think, first of all, his turntable is crazy. Stanley, what kind of turntable do you have? Because he even spent money on one of those metal balls to make sure that when it plays something, it's level with the metal ball thingy. I mean, he sends me stuff that is outrageously priced, just unbelievably priced.
You should send Stanley my professional YouTube channel. I feel like he might enjoy it.
Yeah, actually he would. He would love everything that you sell.
Yeah.
He'd probably
sadly,
know
I don't think I could sell it to him because we can't sell internationally because like contracts and things like that. But although, you know,
I can already guarantee in 2 years Stanley's going to want to upgrade again. He's a constant upgrader.
So you wait, yeah, or you watch it alone and pretend you didn't for Penguin.
Well, yeah, you could watch it twice.
I could do that. Yeah, I'm down.
Yeah.
Let me think I'm do that.
Heck
I can't find anything about a zap mode for TV.
It's Sony, and wasn't it super zapping?
It was super zapping, which I think that sounds like what like the Blade Runners do to get high in the future. Like, oh, we caught another replicant super zapping in the club. Like,
I had Jake on FaceTime for like 20 minutes trying to search for ports so I could play them out of my Klipsch speakers that he sold me, which are great, by the way, even though they're small, they put out perfect sound. We were looking for ports, and then I went to settings on the TV, and I saw stuff I'd never seen before. Super zapping. It was for
we don't even know
Sony TV.
I also love
NHL.
I love when he was like, do you like he's like showing it to me on the camera, but he doesn't realize he flipped the FaceTime camera. So it's just like showing me his spinner rack, and he's like, what do you make of this? And I go, an okay collection. The only thing for zapping from Sony is previewing songs on their Walkman. Rega Planner sticks, it's awesome. Abyss 12.6 Susvar. Ooh, what do you run the Susvaras through? Is it your turntable, or because the Susvaras are a pig of a headphone?
He spends dosh on his headphones. That's what he upgrades the most, because he loves listening to his music through his headphones, and he spends real money on these.
Susvaras are probably like the most popular headphone that we sell. The problem is like we call it a pig of a headphone. So basically it needs a ton of power. Like you can't just plug it into a phone or something like that. And it's
what would I plug it into?
Basically like, well, for a lot of them, you buy an amplifier, like, you know, that you run speakers with back in the day, but they power just your headphones. So instead of an amplifier that's like 30 watts, it's an amplifier that's like 6 watts. So let me show you an image of what one looks like so you can see.
Could I even do that with my setup? Turntable to speakers?
Not really.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
But this is like, so this is our new most popular one that powers the Susvaras. So the Susvaras are the most power hungry headphone that we sell, and this one can run 2. I know you can't really see because
$13,000.
Yep, and that doesn't even come with the headphones.
They don't come with the headphones. They're just amplifiers. So would you run your turntable through that and then have your headphones hooked up to the amplifier?
You would go like turntable into a phono stage into the amplifier, because the phono stage has to amplify the signal into the ores. In fact, actually, this might have a phono on it.
Does it have a phono stage in it? Or is that a separate piece of equipment? Holy crap.
Yeah, you need a separate piece of equipment.
And okay, describe where the turntable goes then to get to my headphones as you're discussing it.
So the problem is that
pretend I'm not doing it. Okay. Pretend I just have a turntable.
You would go turntable into what's called a phono stage, which amplifies your signal a little bit. Actually, yours might have yours built in because yours is just RCAs on the end. So you could just plug it directly into the amplifier and the amplifier into your headphones. So
okay.
Yeah.
But it's 13,000 for the amplifier and 10,000 for the headphones or something.
Yep. But
mm-hmm.
When we met the guy who engineered those, he comes up to our booth at the audio show and he goes, "Do you have Susvaras?" And we're like, "Yeah." And he goes, Can you come over here? Can I borrow them? My amplifier can play too." And we thought he was joking because at the time our most powerful amplifier could play one pair of Susvaras. And then we see this behemoth and it plays two at the same time, two of the most power hungry headphones. And we were just like, okay, we're gonna sell this to everybody in the US. I know. Sorry, this is probably not fun for anybody. This isn't the Saturday haul you were promised, but it's fun.
I do have my haul right here, but
let's go book at a time.
I'm not. The thing is, I respect Stanley because he can tell the difference. He's an audiophile. I'm not. I don't have the ear for that, and I recognize that. So I don't. I'm not jealous at all. I'm happy for him, but I know that stuff would be a waste on me. My ears are just not attuned like an audiophile like Stanley's.
That's fair. I was always better at discerning picture quality than I was at audio quality until I started doing it as full time in hi-fi. So it is hard because you have to learn to speak a language of words that you have to know inherently what they mean. Like, oh, that sounds gooey or that sounds bright. And it's almost like you have to be able to describe. You can't just say, oh, this sounds awesome, because that doesn't mean anything. So you have to say, this is bright without ever being fatiguing. That means it's really detailed, but it never gets so detailed to the point where it's hard to listen to. So there's a whole language you have to learn. And the funny thing is, they're all older guys. So when me and Jordan, these two young dudes in comparison, do a video on YouTube, sometimes we get chewed alive by the old guys because it's a very gatekeepy hobby. So one guy calls us frickin' frack. And I'm like, at this point, we just embrace it now.
Do you know who frickin' frack are?
I Googled it and it means two people that are. Oh, they are? Okay, I didn't know that.
Frickin' frack were goofy ice skaters back in the day, before my day.
That's crazy. I feel like two dudes named Frickin' Frack that were ice skaters, they're just roommates because that was the society we lived in. Now they're just buddies who live together. But now you realize it's like a Bert and Ernie situation.
Bert and Ernie, exactly. I was just gonna say
that. I say you go as high as what's in your budget. The best cable in the world won't make your thing any better, but an inferior cable can make your stuff worse. So think of it like you're bowling. If you bowl on the greatest bowling alley in the world, you're not magically going to be a better bowler. But if you try to roll your bowling ball on a patch of grass, it's probably going to mess it up, So some people treat cables like jewelry, and they like to flex on I spent $10,000 on a cable that I could have bought for $100. It's wild, but everyone has their own budget, and to each their own,
Yeah, my settings are soft and loud. That's how I describe what you're listening to now is loud. And my wife's going, "Can you turn that down?" No, it's loud.
I know. With Jordan came over for a sleepover and a movie night the other night. And since Jess was out of town, I go cranking my sub up, both of my subs up all the way. And we watched Blade Runner, the 4K disc version of Blade Runner, the original, because I'd never seen it before. And it rocked the room. I would never be able to do that.
I'm asking for a subwoofer for Christmas. That $300 Klipsch one that you showed me.
Yeah. You'll love it, man.
It's going to have to go right next to the speaker. I don't have room for it anywhere else, like in a corner. You said it sounds better in a corner. I don't think I have a corner. I'm strapped for room, except for books.
Oh yeah,
I
there's
have
always
plenty
room
of-
for more books.
Yeah, I've been good about that.
Interesting. I didn't know you did that too. Yeah, I feel like because I'm a workaholic, people think that my full-time job is YouTube. I make pennies on YouTube. I do not make enough. I do not make enough to support myself or my addictions with that. So yes, I do work full-time, but I do get work from home most times. Like sometimes I only have to go in to listen to music or only have to go in to record a video. So my job doesn't feel real. Like I feel like someone's like, I gotta go to the office and fill out a report. And I'm like, I gotta go to listen to music for an hour. Like, how is that my job?
I know you have an amazing life.
And amazing friends like you, and
Thank you.
amazing friends like Organic Price Books. If you're buying 1 or 3 books, save $2 on OPB with the code Braveboys, which is linked down below. But if you're buying 4 or more books, you can save 5% with the code Braveboyssit. And they just had a killer sale. So I feel like I saw like it was massive orders from people going through, and I'm happy for everybody who got great deals. And there should be some upcoming sales for Black Friday. So let's draw off our first book. How far back are we going? 1 week, 2 weeks?
Well, wait. I need to move the books that I had for Omni Bros last night.
Oh, what book did you pick up using code Brave Boys?
Who is that? Oh, nice. Stanley's saying one of my favorite movies right there, just above Doc. Yeah, I love that movie.
That movie stresses me out because hasn't it had like 4 different names? Like Live, Die, Repeat, Edge of Tomorrow.
Yeah,
like they kept changing. Yeah.
It says Live, Die, Repeat, Edge of Tomorrow on the DVD, and in Japan, the original manga or what it was
something with kill in it.
Yeah,
Kill,
it had
Die, Repeat.
kill in it.
Was it Kill, Die, Repeat?
I don't no. Oh gosh, I almost had it. Something kill.
Edge of Tomorrow kill name. All You Need Is Kill.
Yeah, there. Oh, I wouldn't have pulled that. Yeah,
neither would I.
All You Need Is. Oh, 007 was close. All You Need Is Cajill. Very close.
And shouts out to Doc Caster for getting Green Lantern Corps Volume 2 and JD getting Punisher by Innis with Brave Boys.
Nice.
You're all awesome, supporting a fledgling YouTuber that's growing and an awesome business, a small business run by a crazy entrepreneur. I opened my package from him. I'm not going to show this in my haul, but I opened my package from him, and there's this belt that like a mom wears, or a husband or a dad.
What?
It's a belt that has a little like chair for the side of your belly so that you can hold your baby easier. So your baby sits on this little like, it's like a bump that goes to the side of your belly. You wear it and you can hold you sit your baby on that bump while you're holding it, so it takes the pressure off your back. And
why did he send you that?
In my mind, I go, oh my gosh, he's got an 8-week-old. He's fried. He accidentally shipped me that. I don't think he understands. I'm never having a human child. Like, I'm not into that, but peace and love. I respect everybody's choices. And I'm like, do you need this back? And he goes, nah, man, I need you to make me a digital ad for Facebook. I'm starting a business where I sell like baby accessories. I'm like, tell me.
Is that right?
I'm like, yeah, he's like, he's got 16 businesses.
I know.
So yes, that belt could hold like a giant sub, like one of those oversized sandwiches that Scooby and Shaggy would eat.
You can just gnaw on it.
Okay, I'm going first. This won me a trivia question. I got the Dazzler Omnibus.
Oh, nice.
But apparently I got the worst cover.
You didn't get the good art germ cover? Send it back.
I don't know, man. It's I didn't choose the cover I got. But yeah, this won me a trivia question, so that was fun.
Was that from the Jeopardy thing?
Yeah, that was from Jeopardy.
Well, that's cool.
Let me answer this question from Uncle Chunt. Green Lantern Corps Omnibus Volume 2 got delayed, I think, a week, according to comic releases. It comes out on the 19th. So I think he meant he pre-ordered it so that it would be ready for him when it did come out. So
comicreleases.com.
Mhm.
We actually, can you go back to Chris Balga's comment? Because
Chris Rogan?
no, Chris Balga, your co-host, he was in there a little bit ago,
Oh,
like 10
okay.
minutes ago.
Let me go. Chris Balga. Look, it's my co-host and my special co-host for next week's OPB Buyer's Guide. Much love, my brothers.
Am I invited? Does that mean I'm invited to be on your Buyer's Guide show?
We talked about it. Remember, I'm going to Vegas next weekend, and Jordan has to work an audio show. So we called in the cavalry.
That's right. Okay, wait. I got to make sure. Okay, sorry. Okay, so that's the 16th. Oh, yes. I've got it. Jake's show. Okay.
Hey, sorry, it's not my show. It's
Chris's show.
Chris Balga's, Jordan's. Apparently, I can't say Perez the right way, though. That's where they were giving me grief for. Because someone commented.
I'm not the only co-host?
No, it's you and Chris.
Okay.
Jordan's gone. I'm gone. I know you don't want to do a show with me or Jordan, but it's you and your favorite Chris Balga. And oh my gosh, is there anything better than hearing him read the solicitation in his voice?
He's amazing.
He made me almost pre-order this weird comic strip called what's that one about the families?
For better, for worse?
Yeah, he was like, Janie has a wedding, but Brad can no longer have enough people in his house. And I was like, why does it sound so interesting when he reads it?
Awesome. I love that strip.
So do you have all 9 library editions?
I haven't ordered 9 yet.
Okay. Yeah, so Green Lantern Corps, our new friend I think she's gonna adopt the name Bat Nessa. So there's a whole Bat family, but I don't know. Yeah, so Bat Nessa, who drives the coolest car.
Oh my goodness, she does. Good to see you, Bat Nessa. Love to see you.
I still think it's the 19th according to comic releases, but we shall see. Because that would be next week. Yeah, no, it wasn't on the list of books from this week. It got pushed back, I think.
I think what I'd like to show is the box I got today. I don't know.
Let's see it.
It's huge. I don't even remember what I ordered.
Oh, that's the best feeling.
But
it hasn't even been opened.
No, that's because it's an unboxing.
Oh, let me highlight you then. You're make sure not to show your address on that little thing.
Thank you.
Solo layout.
Okay. So this is the box. Okay. So I will I always take the blade and cut towards me because that's the most dangerous thing.
It's also the most visually interesting because we got to give the people some fear of danger.
Yeah, okay, I'll get it right here.
Ah! Blood just shoots forward.
Okay, then the other one. I'm not good.
Hey, look, if you slice yourself, that's fine, but you don't touch a hair on Goop's head. As long as you don't slice Goop, we'll be okay.
What if he gets all blood spattered? Oh, he did a good job blocking my address. Thank you, Dupe. Okay.
Wow.
Dupe is in the way. Let me switch. I have no idea what could be so gigunda in this.
Give me a hint and I'll try to guess what book it is.
I don't even remember what it could be.
I know. I'm saying open it, see it, and then give me a hint and I'll try to guess what it is. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not looking
at it.
Okay, there's too many books to guess. I can't guess 16 books.
Oh wow, I didn't know this book was that big. Okay, there's 2 big books in here.
Okay, we like big books and we can lie.
One is by one is by the artist on Harrow County.
Okay. And the name of that artist is
Tyler Crook.
Okay. I got nothing on that one. I don't know. Ooh, The Lonesome Hunters Library Edition.
Yeah, so here it is compared to a standard hardcover Scarlet Witch, which I will be showing. So that's how big it is. Fifth the Jack is visiting Hall Central. Okay, so this was the biggest book. Then there was a second biggest book. I don't think you're ever going to guess this one. This is a Cycle Cleveland book.
Oh, okay.
This is a book Cycle Cleveland loves, and I think maybe Curtis likes it. Curtis.
So that means 3 people in existence own this book.
A lot of people have been waiting for this, and yeah, this is really big. So it is. Let me see if the audience can guess. It's a Cycle Cleveland book. It's an artist and writer that are the same, and he uses very thick lines and a lot of black. Lots of black. I don't think he's ever done color. No, it's very black. Whoa. There is color in this. What? I've never seen. Whoa,
dear friend of the channel, Lonesome Hunters is Tyler Crook, and Tyler Crook is great.
Nice to see you. Chris Brogan got it.
Originally, it was original guess or down the road? Was it this one or was it?
Yep, he's right.
There
Final
we go.
Cut by Charles Burns. I did not know Charles Burns worked in color. Usually it's all black, so this is going to be interesting. I believe this is the third and final.
Wild.
I know. I think this is the. Oh, James did beat me. Did he say Final Cut?
Oh, he did at 5:43.
Oh wow, nicely done. My feeling is they're not 100% connected, but this is the third in a series. Sort of a no. I didn't say series. Stop.
I don't understand.
I know. I'm not talking to you. Stop. Please stop.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
She's like, I'm stopping now. You're like, I'm good. Yes, please.
Yeah. This looks actually really good.
The color
I have the other 2 books. I'm not 100% sure how they connect, though.
Is the first one called First Cut and then Second Cut and then Final Cut?
No, but this is a gorgeous book. It's a Spanographics Pantheon. Wait a minute.
I've never even heard of that publishing company before. That's how little I know about comic books.
Pantheon Books. Okay, I would have thought it was Fantagraphics. So you should be FOMO'd, Booster. Oh, wow. I don't know what's going on in this book. But I knew I had to get it.
I think that's what happens to your TV when you turn on Super Zap mode. That's what happens on the inside.
If I take a break here, I'm going to go and get back to the settings and see what it exactly is called and what it does. Okay. Then I got Elseworlds Justice League Volume 3.
Nice.
Which is the final one, which is great.
I want a t-shirt of Batmite and Mixelpedic fighting.
Yeah. It's awesome.
Yo, if we ever go to a convention, can you go as Mixelpedic and I'll go as Superman or Batmite? I do have a Mixelpit like
it's
yellow, right?
Yeah, I need to wear that shirt.
How do I know what shirts you own? Because I did an
Instagram. I did an Instagram of 30 days, 30 shirts. This is Blue Book, 1947 by Tiny Onion.
Okay.
Do you know about this?
No, but I did order a Tiny Onion book today.
He takes famous UFO experiences and makes them into graphic novels.
Wow.
The first one was what was it called? It was about this couple that got abducted back in 1960. And this one's 1947. I think it has something to do with 1947. Kenneth Arnold was flying his Cal Air A2 over the skies of Pacific Northwest when all of a sudden he saw a blinding flash of silver light. What followed was a bizarre and difficult to explain encounter with several flying objects that would change the course of his life forever. Tiny Onion's doing a bunch of these, a series apparently. The first one, the couple got hypnotized back in 61 or so and went over, they got hypnotized and they then started to talk about what happened aboard the UFO. And it's actually really chilling. It's very chilling. It's scary what they went through.
Yeah. I feel like aliens in my mind are the most scary thing because I don't think ghosts are real. I think energy exists, and I think, you know what I mean? But I don't think, I don't think goblins or dragons exist. But aliens, statistically, it seems more likely that they do than they don't.
I don't disbelieve in them.
More importantly, I want them to believe in themselves.
I think they do. Oh, Barney and Betty Hill incident. Thank you, Marvel Bab. Yeah, and that's what the book was about. And you listen to that. I mean, Geo is the one that turned me on to listening to it on YouTube. It's genuinely scary what they under hypnosis, what they talk about. And that's what the first book was. And then I got the latest, Barbaric, which is a fabulous series.
I love how I said we could go one book at a time and you're like halfway through a giant box, but it's okay. I love it.
I also have 14 books from the past 2 weeks. So
because this is Saturday Night Mega Haul. We should do this. We should do this once a month. We just save up all of our haul books for them and then just go crazy.
Okay. Sounds good. Yeah, I have a ton of other books. So I just went through what that herkin big box was.
Just doesn't play by the rules. He's a maverick.
Stanley
I gotta tell you again to follow the rules, Jess. I'm gonna take your badge and your gun. Got that Barbaric. So sad they aren't hardcover.
I know the first one was, and the rest are trades. That's a bummer. It is a bummer.
I wish you could exchange your hardcover for a trade. Okay, speaking of hardcovers, this is my first time I've got this something like this. I got my first acetate cover book.
Oh, let's see that. I almost got that.
So, as you'll see, this book poses the question, what masks do we wear? And are the Joker and Batman two sides of the same coin? Batman with his mask and the Joker with his mask. So this does collect more than just Scott Snyder, Greg Capullo stuff. So it is going to include, which it would be crazy if it didn't, it is going to include Detective Comics #1, an omnibus that I would bet money Jess will break down and get. So he said he's
Tony
not going
Daniels?
to. Yeah, he says he's not going to. But, okay, but think about it this way. If you buy this Absolute, you can save yourself from buying the omnibus because this has Vault Issue 1.
When he carves off his face?
Yeah, with the doll maker. The only interesting issue in that omnibus.
That is 100% right.
So this saves you money. Get the Absolute and you won't have to buy that whole omnibus. So
but if I get that, which I'm still contemplating, I have to get Court of Owls, which OPB has.
You get to get Court of Owls, which OPB has.
What did I say? Have to get?
Yeah, you get.
I get to get.
So one thing that was interesting is this starts with a new forward or new introduction by Scott Snyder, where he talks about why he loves the Joker as a character, why he was glad he didn't have to start using the Joker because he started with the Court of Owls. But he says the very first comic he ever read was Batman meets the Incredible Hulk, where the Joker interacts with the Hulk, Batman and the Hulk fight each other. And it was so cool that he referenced that the week after I read that story for the very first time, because that story was collected in DC versus Marvel. So I got better context. Now, lately, Absolutes have been so tight in the slipcase, it's been bothering me. But
so that has acetate that you pull off, and it's in a slipcase. Wow, yes. That's some packaging. So you are FOMOing me to the max, jerk.
Harley's in this book.
Oh, stop.
Look at this sad cover where he makes her dress up as the Red Hood to reenact their history together. But one thing I love is this. If you look at the slipcase, I don't know if you remember the story much, but the Joker teases he knows who Batman's identity is. And on the slipcase, it has the letter he writes him after he takes Alfred teasing that he knows who Batman is right here on the slipcase. It's dope. It's a really rad book. I just got to say that I made this joke to Jess, and I'll probably make it in my video for it. Court of Owls was the very first absolute I ever bought. I love Scott Snyder Batman because it was the Batman run when I was in high school and before I could collect comics. So one time I sat in a Barnes & Noble reading a fat trade of Death of the Family, and I read it from start to finish like I was in a public library because I couldn't afford the book at the time. So when I first collected comics, the very first absolute I bought was Court of Owls, and up until now, it has been an orphaned absolute, and my joke is orphaned just like Batman. But I'm so happy they're continuing it. I hope we're going to get 0 year in February. I don't think we need all of Scott Snyder Batman. I don't need like Jim Gordon RoboCop, but
Super
give
heavy.
me Endgame. Yeah, give me Endgame and give me the final story they did Last Night on Earth. Last Night on Earth has such cool art.
Oh, that is. I have the action figures from that. I loved it so much.
It's wild. So yeah, I really like this. And
I'm gonna have to get that.
The cover price is only $100, which is crazy in the grand scheme of things, but it's also not as crazy as it could have been because it's Batman, it's DC. Prices have been going up. They could have made it more expensive. So I love this book. It was a joy to read, and never in a million years when I was sitting broke in a bookstore reading a paperback I could afford, ever thought I'd have all of this. So it really brought me back.
Booster trashed the story. Wow, I'm sorry you didn't like it, Booster. I loved the story. That's back when I was collecting floppies, and those issues all had the die cut covers that you opened up, and they were really cool.
And you hate the Joker now, or you're over the Joker now, but this was from before I was over the Joker. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like it's like, that's why I give it a pass. It was because it was before, I don't know.
Yeah, no, I have no problem reading the Joker in this.
Yeah.
Because he's very twisted, but still sort of sane, which I like. And I don't know. I wish the new movie would be like Mr. Freeze or something. A really good Mr. Freeze story.
What's the most obscure villain that they could still make cool in Matt Reeves? They're calling it the Great Crime Saga. Here's my pick, because everyone says the same stuff, but you know who I think could be a chilling villain? Scarface. Imagine live action Scarface in the grounded real world where he's not like, because they like to tease, there's something magical about Scarface. But no, this is just a dude with split personality disorder who ventriloquists into his dummy, and he's like subservient to the dummy persona. Or like what they did with Paul Dini in the Paul Dini omnibus, where like he has it has like a new person running it. I think Scarface could be an awesome villain in a Batman movie. And it fits the tone.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I just read Oh, I think it was in Batman and Robin Adventures. I read a really heartbreaking story about him.
Yeah. So who do you think is the most obscure Batman villain they haven't done yet that you think could be good in those movies? Because everyone's saying Clayface, everyone's saying Mr. Freeze, but like imagine like a Clock King or something like that. You know what I mean? Like,
or Condiment King.
I know, but Condiment King's a bridge too far. Like I could take King Tut, but I don't think I could take Condiment King.
I definitely do not want Bane. I'm over Bane more than I'm over the Joker, even. I'm like, I only want to see Bane in the Harley Quinn cartoon.
Okay. Stanley with the great Professor Pig pick.
Oh, yeah.
Professor Pig, Zaz. What about Egghead?
Oh, Zaz is good.
Kite Man, hell yeah. What a good show I need to finish. I
That-
fell off.
Oh yeah, I finished that. It's awesome.
I did the one where they get trapped back in time, and then I
Oh
Mad
yeah,
Hatter-
through the toilet of time.
yeah. Some people felt like it took the characters that were funny in small doses on Harley Quinn and overused them, but I loved it. Like,
I loved
and
it too.
what I loved is that I read Hitman the week after I started Harley Quinn and got to read the origin of all the characters that I just saw for the first time in the TV show.
In the bar, yeah.
Yeah, Flanagan's or
Six-pack.
Hennigan's or whatever. What was the name of the bar? I forget what the name of the bar was.
Oh, I don't remember now. I think 8-pack was in there or 6-pack. 6-pack.
Okay, if you want to see 8-pack, that's this book from the 90s.
Is that the
I
book
don't
you
have
need
much-
to read and review?
I started reading it and like it was the Fantastic Four and adult Franklin Richards shows up, and I'm like, I thought this was an X-Men book, and then it like Storm is young in it, and there's a character that I thought was Jean Grey, but apparently it could be her daughter from the future named Rachel, and I just don't know what's going on because the only other X-Men book I own, I got last week, and it's Uncanny X-Men Volume 2. So I guess, I don't know if you know this, but I'm missing a little bit of story in between these two.
Yes. I think Extinction Agenda would be really tough to read just on its own.
Yeah, like,
I wish you well.
yeah, send help. But yeah, Uncanny X-Men 2, I'm happy to own. I loved, yeah, I guess, I don't know.
Yeah, that's actually good. I'm sure it is good.
I think I need a modern X-Men Omni to get my toes wet, you know?
Yeah. I don't. Yeah. Anytime I would suggest an X-Men book, the chat would just come down on me for a modern X-Men book because you can't start Krakoa because it's a 5-year run.
Wait, they're in Krakoa now? I'm just getting used to them being in Genosha. Are they different places?
They have their own place now. They have their own island. Actually, yeah, Labrusi's right. Astonishing X-Men is good. New X-Men is what got me into X-Men. You could read those in that order, and that would be really good modern. A really good modern read. Do you know who Apocalypse is?
Yes, Oscar Isaacs from the movies. But Apocalypse, he is the first mutant from Egyptian times, and he's like made himself way more powerful as time goes on, and he has his 4 horsemen where he like modifies some of the mutants. All my X-Men knowledge is from the movies and the few episodes of the shows I've watched.
Well, then you can read Uncanny X-Force, which is one of the best X books out there, because I read it cold without knowing who Apocalypse was yet. This was back in like 2014. And then I reread it after knowing you have to know who Apocalypse is, because X-Force, Uncanny X-Force is a team of killers. Wolverine, Psylocke, Dark Angel, Deadpool, and I feel like I'm missing somebody. Phantom X, which is great. And this is Remender writing them. If you read those 3 books, you'll be golden for X-Men. It won't help you with Extinction Agenda, but it
Will
sure
anything
will.
help me with Extinction Agenda? I can't, like,
I don't know. There's so much stuff in the 90s.
and I can't figure out who any of them are. Okay, I hear you talk about Transformers by Daniel Warren Johnson, the 4 issues with 6 robots in it that you get lost on. There's 60 X-Men in 4 issues in this Extinction Agenda, and it's not just the X-Men; it's the X-Force and whatever the other third team is. They're all like, yeah, it's a lot. But I'm starting my video with, hey guys, I'm here to do a first look. If you want something educational, watch Omar's. He'll go for 30 minutes and tell you every bit of history about every single character you see. I'm just going to flip through the book and tell you what my assumptions are as a new reader. And I'm just going to go for it. You know, it's the only way I can, you know. But speaking of a book I went for and loved, have you got this yet?
I haven't. I still have my chunky trades.
All 30 of them or whatever?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair. You got them all.
But I don't know. That looks awfully good to me. I love that
So-
they're doing Hellblazer.
Give me all 300 issues. You know?
Yeah. That's going to be a lot.
He's just such a jerk, though, dude. There's like every time you think he's gonna be the hero, he does something underhanded and like he saves the day, but like in a non-positive way or something.
Yeah,
Like
that's what he's like. He's
like
always screwing over somebody.
I love that he's haunted, not figuratively, but literally by the ghosts of the peoples he's killed.
Yeah.
Like that is that there's levels of stakes in there that I'm not used to reading in other DC books, you know.
This isn't going to spoil it for you because I don't think it happens yet. It may happen early in the run, but he sends his own girlfriend to hell.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and that haunts him through the entire run. I can't remember when it happens. Oh yeah,
okay,
they'll definitely reprint those, Uncle Chunt.
Let's tell him the story about me.
About
love
you?
DC. I was never super into Marvel. You know, I was a DC fan, and then DC's collected editions department disappeared for a year. So my wife was like, "Oh, good, you'll save money for a year." And I go, "I wish it was that simple. I have to buy Omnis, but I just can't buy DC Omnis." So I went on a tear and bought so many Marvel Omnis, not knowing what was good or not. And I also bought out of print ones. And including those ones, I got one of those X-Men ones, though, that are super expensive now, from New Spooey that he got at an Ollie's. It was my first book with the remainder mark. It had a little dot on it. I don't know why they do that, but it is what it is. He goes, "Does a remainder mark bother you?" And I go, "I like Rick Remender." Like I didn't even know what a remainder mark was. And yeah, don't buy out of print books. I have spent so much money on out of print books. I feel like everything that's not tied into legal mumbo jumbo will get reprinted. And even then, someday they'll bring it back. Those Omnis are great, but not great. $500 for two of them, you know?
Yeah, and the Claremont Jim Lee books were just so popular. They've always been popular. So I think Very Fine Conditions probably would announce that next year. They've been out of print. Those two books have been out of print for a while.
Yeah,
and they're super popular.
Extinction goes in the middle, so now I feel like there's a reason to reprint volume 1 and 2 because that's where Extinction goes. I think, unless I'm wrong, but I think it replaced the two oversized deluxes that have been out of print for even longer. So Extinction goes in between volume 1 and 2.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that because I am not collecting Extinction Agenda.
Speaking of that, Kato, my wife sent me a picture today from her in Texas, and she goes, "Hey, is this that comic book place you've always wanted to go to?" And it said Ollie's, and I was like, "Go find me something." And then she goes, "Nope, we're on our way to the Dr. Pepper Museum."
Oh,
like,
she's in Plano.
The Dr. Pepper Museum they went to was in Waco.
Well, Waco. That's right. Yeah.
They got back today. Sounds weird to say. She is a massive Dr. Pepper fan, like an absolute fiend for Dr. Pepper. So she was very excited to go on the Taste of Soda tour.
I want that.
At one part, they got to make their own Dr. Pepper flavors. Like they was like Dr. Pepper, and then you got to add flavors to it.
Oh my gosh!
So
that sounds awesome.
I know, right? Good fun. So her best friend moved up to Texas about 2 years ago, and this is her first time getting to visit her. So yes, DC's collected editions department has been getting better and better over the last 2 years.
Yeah.
Nightwing will come. It's Batman. It's not like it's some super obscure character, you know?
Yeah, I'm surprised that hasn't been reprinted.
Let's see your next book.
Oh, Scarlet Witch with Quicksilver, Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver.
Okay. Heck yeah.
By Steve Orlando. I have loved the two Scarlet. Yeah, I read. Wait, this isn't the second one. This is like the third one, I think. I have to go check. I haven't read this yet, but I absolutely love how Steve Orlando writes Scarlet Witch. So I really love this. So that's a book that I have got over the past 2 weeks.
Did you get it for the Quicksilver or for the Scarlet Witch?
Scarlet Witch.
I'm just kidding. I know.
Quicksilver comes with it though. Richard Fearing's right. X Factor by Peter David. You can read those cold and have a blast. Those books are really good. I read the first 2 Omnis in a weekend with Max and Freddie, and I just absolutely devoured them. They are
Like,
super good.
In person, you all shared one book and you flipped the page, or like you all read it on your own?
We all read it on our own and then talked about it.
I've heard Ollie's is best. Like, it's like dating. If you go in expecting to find something, you're not going to find anything good. But if you just browse casually, you're like, oh my God, it's absolute Justice League. Like, you got to go in with low expectations and be surprised. But I've never even driven past one. Now, this next book everyone's going to be excited about, because I've talked long and hard about the greatest comic book ever made, because
Irredeemable.
no, with actual heroes in it. Because when I was younger, every Batman story was just him fighting the Grasshopper Gang. That's all comics were, was silly jokes. But
that's my line. You don't even know who the Grasshopper Gang is.
This comic came out and changed everything. And I left the box unattended.
And like, you bastard. That's everything that I said.
I was going to see how long it took you to realize.
Oh, as soon as you said the Grasshopper Gang, I knew you were mimicking me.
Hard Traveling Heroes, Dennis O'Neil, Neil Adams, Mike Grell, Dick Giordano, and Alex Saviuk.
Huh.
The Hard Traveling Heroes Omnibus. So I have the abs. Oh my gosh, dude. My cat messed this book up today.
Oh, yeah, I can see.
He's being burned alive by his own brand of power. So there is a DCBS cover that stealth dropped, but you didn't like it, right? That was not the artist you liked.
Yeah, it's the Mike Grell cover. Mike Grell, at that time, back in 1972 or whenever it was that the run ended, he was just not the Mike Grell we know now with like Longbow Hunters. The art just, I don't know why they picked him, but coming off of Neil Adams, it was really rough, and the stories out in space just did not interest me. So if anybody asks for me to do an overview of it, I will send them to your channel, because I am not ordering that book.
So what sold another person that was on the fence, Chris Balga, my co-host, what sold him was apparently it's got super in-depth letter pages. So just tons and tons of letter pages that haven't been released before. So there's just
a week ago he was saying he was not getting that.
It was until he learned about how in-depth the letter pages. There's just pages and pages of never before released letter pages that have never seen the light of day since their original debut.
And I think it's got a lot of stuff that's never been collected before.
Yeah. So I don't know. I have the Absolute. I got it for $10, and I have never read anything in this other than the stuff that's in the Absolute. So if I'm not mistaken, why didn't they do My Ward as a Junkie as the cover?
I don't know. They always have these two fighting and at each other's throats. It's not even a famous cover. They should have put the cover from 76 on there where Green Arrow's shooting the arrow at the lantern. That's where it all started. I
want a little word bubble on the cover of him going, "You jackbooted fascist." I don't even know what needs to be jackbooted, but apparently he is a jackbooted fascist. So, but yeah, like I said, because before that everything was the Grasshopper Gang, and
shut up.
Okay, what else you got?
Spooey asks, did Jess ever get the Silver Age Green Lantern Volume 2 omnibus? I think that's coming out like this month or next month.
Oh, that's got to be an Omni I send you to review.
That'd be good. I'd do that.
I feel like I'm not ready for Green Lantern Volume 2.
You're not. But yeah, send it to me. I can do a good review. I've read all those things. I can do a perfect overview and review. I don't think it's out yet, Spooey. I know there's an old version of it,
I'll
but
check.
but the new version, check comicreleases.com.
You can be our silver-haired, Silver Age correspondent.
I'm ready.
Okay. I see Green Lantern by Tomasi. When is it supposed to come out?
I thought that it was supposed to be coming.
I got it.
Oh.
It is coming out April 29th.
Oh, not till April. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
don't forget to send it to me in April.
Let's just go through the list. Which ones do I not want?
You don't want that. You don't want World's Finest. I promise you don't want World's Finest.
I don't think either of us can do Bruce Wayne Murderer, right? That's too mean to our friend. So we can't get that one, right?
I'm not getting it because of what Sonny sent us. Yeah.
Our deluxes are more comprehensive. Yeah,
we
are you interested in Nightfall Omnibus Volume 2 Knight's Quest?
If somebody's interested in it, I think that's good, and they should get it. That's not my tempo.
What about Wonder Woman Golden Age Omnibus Volume 6?
I actually like those Golden Age Wonder Woman books. They're better. They've got better stories for a longer period of time than Batman and Superman of Golden Age. She gets tied up in every issue, so that's awesome for you bondage fans.
Oh my gosh. Remember when I had to ask you and my wife if the joke I made in my video was appropriate?
Oh, yeah.
Comics.
Yeah, I like Golden Age Wonder Woman. I don't know that I want to get everything. I have 1 and 3.
If you get 6, are you going to get the ones up to 6?
Well, I have 1 and 3, and I've been wanting to get 2. JP sent me 1 and 3 to review.
If JP tried to send me volumes 1 and 3 of something without volume 2, I'd say no thank you, sir.
Well, I was not in a position to say no thank you.
Oh, Spooey bringing up the good point. Did DC purposely release Hard Traveling Heroes, an omnibus about a conservative and a liberal working together on election day?
I'm not touching that one.
Okay, Green Arrow, Green Lantern omnibus. Too much green on this book. Is it evergreen? I heard the Hulk makes an appearance. He joins the Greenpeace. Okay, I will say Carlos has commented over 78 times on my videos. YouTube has a new feature that tells you your top commenters, so thank you. Have you finished your Promethea deluxes that I sent you? I want to know that. Okay, so you don't want Nightfall. You're maybe on Wonder Woman Volume 6. You already have Dead Man.
Yeah.
Doom Patrol Silver Age.
Ooh, that's actually very readable and very good. That's probably, in my opinion, the most readable Silver Age book that there is.
What about the Legion 5 Years Later omnibus?
That's a good question. I think people can start that. I think if you just have I think it's okay. There's 2 5 years. I think there are 2 of them. Or is that 5 years after? 5 years later. 5 years later. Yeah, there's 2 volumes. I think a new reader can read those. I think they'd be better served with Great Darkness Saga. That would be a better standalone book.
Why do I want to send you Detective Comics Volume 1 just as a joke?
I'll review it.
Because you said you weren't picking it up.
I will read it and review it if you send it to me.
Because the joke is that you okay. What about Batman by Neil Omnibus 2025 edition? If they do it with the better coloring, if they fix the coloring, that's got to be you, right?
Is that a real solicit?
Well, it's been pushed. Okay.
I think it's been canceled.
It's on their website. I didn't see the date. It says 1/1/2099. I heard it was canceled, but they were talking about doing it with the better colors or with new coloring.
Original coloring.
Yeah. So that one, I guess we don't know. I also heard War Games by Batman was awful.
Yeah, but No Man's Land is good.
Okay.
If
And
you
then
say,
I would
if
try
you
to do
send me
Shade.
Detective, I will read it and review it.
I would try to do Shade the Changing Man, but you said I wouldn't gain anything from it.
I think
When I
that's
was
more
so
of a
excited- when
me.
I was-
I think that's more of a me book. That's Peter Milligan's writing. I personally, I just don't think you dig it. I'm
Okay,
not going
what
to
I
say it's
won't- yeah.
not for you. I'm just going to say I don't think you particularly dig it.
What I don't dig is Injustice 2. So peace and love, whoever take that seems like not a me book. I don't like Evil Superman. You know, it's been done. Let's move on. Okay, speaking of Evil Superman, this is my first Punisher omnibus.
Oh, it's so good.
Did I get the good cover?
Yes, you did. You
The
got
other
the
one was
original.
blue. So do I need to know anything about this before I dive in? I've never read a Punisher book before.
Nope.
All I
Don't
know
need
is
to
John
know anything.
Bernthal.
It goes
Okay.
over the reason he's the Punisher. It goes over it's the craziest, wildest, scariest bullseye in there. And it's very violent, but it's super well written. You can start with that and be fine.
See,
It's really, really
me
good.
and Kenneth getting along. Like, if it's a one-off story, like I'm excited to read Red Sun when it comes out in the Absolute, because that's the Elseworlds. But I'm just like, I don't need 3 omnis about evil Superman, and I don't like. I'm so over movies where they're like, hey, what if Superman was evil? I feel like it's so edgy and try hard, you know?
What is Injustice? What you're talking about?
Yeah, Injustice.
Okay, I like
Did you-
Injustice, but I get what you're saying.
Yeah, I will say it was a fun video game in high school, but
I never played it.
it never made sense because like characters have such different power levels. So you could be like Condiment King and you're fighting Doomsday and you're punching him and like you know what I mean? And it's like that would never happen, you know. Any other books or was that it?
Oh no! Oh god, I have a whole stack here. I got the deluxe of Batman the Cult.
Got that too. Nice. Did you
Yeah.
get that because Jason Todd's in it and it makes you think of me?
Oh shit! I forgot Jason Todd's in it. No, I'm getting rid of it.
That'd be so cool if you pressed a button and it made a sound effect of glass crashing when you pretended to throw that book, like a radio jockey or whatever. I'm pumped for the Colt. That has never been in print since I've been a reader.
I read it back when it came out, but I haven't read it since then, so it'll be a brand new read for me again. So yeah, Bernie writes and art, Jim Starlin writing. This is one of the great Batman books. Batnessa, you need this. Unless you already have it.
It's never been a deluxe before, and it's been out of print for a long time.
Yeah.
Okay. What else?
Oh, Booster and I are cult brothers. Nice.
Wait, can I we're all Colt brothers.
We're all cult brothers.
Yeah. And Colt sisters when Batnessa gets it.
Yeah. Phantom of the Scan, which is by Cullen Bunn. This says 20 years ago, a comet fell to Earth. Since that night, Matthew has been haunted by a spirit that gives him incredible psychic abilities. But these abilities come with a price and payment is due. I pretty much will buy and read anything Cullen Bunn does. He's one of my favorite writers. He's a great guy. I saw him at Heroes Con. He even remembered me from when I interviewed him back in 2021. I love Cullen Bunn's writing. This sounds great. And then I got Harleen and Harley.
Are those different people or
young adult novel? Oh, I love the art. Let's see. When Harleen signs up to participate in a clinical research trial with her girlfriend Pamela, the most she hopes for is extra cash in her wallet and a chance to get her anxiety under control. But what she gets instead are increasingly large gaps in her memory and stolen mementos from some guy named Jack she's never met. Soon Harleen discovers she's sharing her life with Harley, a take no prisoner. Who cares about attendance? Maybe we ought to save the bunnies kind of girl. She's the opposite of Harleen in many ways. Yada, yada, yada. Split personality. I can't wait to read it.
That's fun.
Yeah, it's a young adult novel, and I'm up for it.
So
Anything Harley is cool with me.
I feel like we got to give the chat some more love. So we got Bat Kato saying the Colt was really good, and then Spooey asking the hard hitting questions. Is this on Punisher movie scale? Is it closer to Dolph Lundgren, Thomas Jane, or Ray Stevenson, or John Berthnall from the newest movies, the newest TV shows?
I would say from the TV show. I think I saw the Ray Stevenson one. Isn't that the one where he blows up the guy with a rocket launcher in midair? Yeah, I saw that one. So it's more the TV show. It's it's amazing.
And then Kenneth saying his least favorite takes on Superman. And then Doc says I have single issues of the Colt signed by Wrightson.
Nice.
Somewhere.
What a good
I'd find those.
What a good souvenir those are.
So let's see if, because it's been a long time since you've read it, and I only know what I know from not reading it, we can piece together what the Colt is about. So I know Deacon Blackfire is in it. And I know at one point Batman gets kidnapped, right? Jason Todd's in it. He spends some time tied up, right? So what's the list does it say?
People are disappearing all over Gotham City. The homeless and downtrodden have fled underground, enthralled by the teaching of Deacon Blackfire, a charismatic preacher who claims to be older than Gotham itself. Deacon Blackfire's message sounds sincere. He wants to help rid the city of crime and corruption. But those who follow him must be willing to act as violently as those that they are trying to purge. As Blackfire's influence and army grow, so do Batman's suspicions. Is Blackfire truly as old as he says? Or is he a character preying on the weak-willed? And has he succeeded where villains such as the Joker, the Riddler, and Two-Face have failed by finally breaking Batman's spirit? Batnessa Jim Starlin, way famous writer for good reason. He's awesome. Bernie writes an art. Way famous artist for a reason, because he's awesome. And I guess Bill Ray is the colorist, and he must be good to be on this book. So
did you get the most recent Batman Deluxe before that? All-Star?
Oh no, it's on my wish list.
Okay.
I haven't got that yet.
I remember, I got that at the same time. I got them together. But I remember loving the first arc of All-Star, and then not liking the second, and I dropped it when it was in singles. But then I heard it got amazing after the second arc. But the first arc was so cool because he was on a road trip with Two-Face, and he kept switching between Harvey and Two-Face, and it was so gripping.
The third one's good, and the first one's good. The middle one, I believe, as the youth would say, is mid.
Mid.
Yeah. But it's got two good stories in it, so it's worth getting.
My favorite comic book duo, y'all like Batman and Robin. Stoked to see y'all streaming. What's good, stream? You know,
Nick, what up?
Stream is good. This is great to see you, Nick. I love Batman and Robin. I would love to see. I also love when it's Nightwing and a Robin. I feel like Nightwing and a Robin is a great pairing because Nightwing knows what it's like to be a Robin, and he can be a better mentor than Batman ever was because he can be the mentor he always needed and wanted. You know, like.
I'm going to give you a hot take.
Yeah.
Of all the male characters in Batman, Nightwing's my favorite.
Okay.
Especially as written by Tom Taylor. But I think I like heresy. I liked Dick Grayson better as Batman than Bruce Wayne with Damian.
Oh my gosh, right? But like, I just feel like when it's flipped and Batman kind of has a smile and Robin super serious was such a good juxtaposition that should have lasted longer, you know?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I wish it was a longer part of that book.
I feel like, well, I mean, definitely this goes without saying, Dick Grayson could make a better Batman than Batman could make a Nightwing. You know what I mean? But like,
yeah,
I'd love to see a story because they've teased this or that they wanted to do this story before. I'd love to see a series where Dick gets injured or he's out of commission or Dick has to be Batman. And then Tim Drake has to step up to be Nightwing in Bloodhaven.
Oh, that'd be cool.
That'd be so. Don't you think Tim? Because Tim's all about like.
I love Tim.
Yeah, because Tim's whole thing is like, look, I'm not going to grow up to be anyone past Robin. I'm going to do my shift as Robin because Batman needs a Robin. Mathematically, I've proven it, and I'm going to do my shift and then go off. But him having to be like, okay, guess I got to do my shift as Nightwing because Bloodhaven needs a Nightwing. That'd be such an engaging series to
That's
see
true.
Tim have to be Nightwing.
Dom is challenging me, saying Nightwing is the best Bat Family member is not a hot take, Jess. Who does the tongue out emoticon?
Don't ever say Nightwing is not hot.
What's that, Dom? Man, that is so 2007.
He said that's so 2000 late. Dick is great. Rick is not.
Right. Yeah, wasn't a fan of Rick.
Bruce written by Dini is the best.
That's not
I
wrong.
can stand behind that. Like, especially like if you I feel like, okay, did you read Batman by Paul Dini before or after finishing the animated series?
Way before.
Okay.
Like back when it came out in floppies. I have to reread it.
I feel like now you should reread it because you finished the animated series and it feels like an extension of that because it was like standalone things, but then they would slowly build up to something over time. You know?
Yeah. Okay. Vanessa, I said the male members. I agree. Batgirl and Batwoman, I love.
Okay, pick one though. Who do you think's better, Batwoman or Batgirl?
Which Batgirl?
And what about Orphan? How are you gonna slander my girl Orphan? What about when her and Clayface do ballet together? Okay, Nessa, I know you can't buy physical books. My recommendation, if you love Batman and Batgirl and Batwoman and the Bat Family, read Rise and Fall of the Batman digitally. You will love that series.
Yeah, I think I recommended it to her last night on Omnibros, and I totally I probably Batgirl, I guess, is my favorite. Batgirl might be my favorite Bat member now that I think of it. The whole Bat family, except for Bat Cow and Ace the Bat Hound.
If you had asked me a year ago, because all of these books were out of print, so I never really got to read them until this year. What story or what order would I have ranked my excitement to read Robin year 1, Nightwing year 1, and Batgirl year 1? You know, it would have gone Nightwing, Robin, Batgirl. But if you ask me now that I've read them, my order of how much I love them, Batgirl is far and above number 1. Robin is number 2 if I get past the cursive. And then Nightwing is the most mid.
Yeah. It's older. So yeah, it's older Chuck Dixon stuff. But you're right. Robin and Batgirl year 1, so great.
And one of the creators retweeted all my content that I did about it because
wow.
Yeah, and I was like, dude, this means a lot. He's like, thank you. And I said, I'd love to interview you someday. And he's like, cool. And that was it.
A lot of them will ghost you as soon as you say that.
Yeah. But who's your favorite Robin? So that's hard because it depends on like who's being Batman. You know,
if he's currently Robin, I like Tim Drake.
Yeah,
but I also like Damian and Super Sons.
Oh, what did you think of my crossover pitch of the Power Pack meets the Super Sons?
When I did the X Factor review, the original X-Men, I started getting I can't believe I'm saying this. I started getting interested in Power Pack. They were actually interesting. I was reading them in the X Factor book. I'm like, hey, these guys are kind of fun.
I want to see you review the pilot, the unaired pilot to the Power Pack live action TV show sitcom.
Is that a thing?
It is a thing. I will send you the link. They did I don't think it ever made it past the first episode, but it is a live action Power Pack kids sitcom.
Wow. Is it awful or great?
Both. It doesn't have to be mutually exclusive. I forgot when Tim Drake was Drake. I didn't really care if that.
I forgot about that too.
Batman year 1, a Batgirl Year One featuring the Condiment King. I know they gave her the lamest villains to deal with, but it was so cool. It was Killer Moth, Firefly, and Condiment King. And also, like, sexism was another villain she fights. She breaks the glass ceiling in that book. It is awesome.
Good observation.
I'm not saying I'm Batgirl, but no one has ever seen me and Batgirl in a room together. I don't know. I kind of feel like you're Zatanna. That's my pick.
Yeah, Zatanna's a magician.
No, so let's see. I bought the Power Pack Omnis because I think it's going to be a fun read.
You might be right. I don't know. I really liked him in X Factor.
Just remind yourself that Power Pack got their entire series released in omnibus format for X Factor. Now, that's a good segue for my next one because I have completed a omnibus series. So JP said, "Will you review ROM Volume 3?" And I go, "I mean, I guess." And he goes, "Okay, I'll send it to you." And I go, "I don't have ROM Volume 2." And then he just sighs and goes, "Okay." I hear clicking his keyboard. And it showed up today. I am so emotionally needy, but he's needy to me too. I got ROM 2 and 3. I have a confession. I only finished the first issue of ROM when it originally came out. And I'm like, is this whole thing like it's a robot that just wants to be loved and like doesn't understand humanity? Like, I don't know. It's cool, I guess. But I have to say, even if you don't like ROM, how sick is this cover? Take the plastic off.
Okay.
This is the first time I've ever specifically, like, because I never get the cover I want from JP or the cover I order. He gives me whatever's convenient for him. This is the first time I got to pick my cover. Tell me that doesn't at least look a little cool.
It does look a little cool.
Does
I
Rob
like
find
it.
love?
Yeah, it looks like he found robot love.
Yeah.
That's kind of
Whatever her name
exciting
is.
for him.
You know, Rob, yeah, look at him. Like he's been a bachelor, you know? And yeah, you know, I feel like the ROM hype kind of died off. But this is great. Will you tell Vanessa about Zatanna? Because she's not familiar.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, Zatanna is a magician, and her spells work because she says everything backwards,
which is frustrating to read.
Yes, it is. But she dresses in a top hat and fishnet stockings and a black long waistcoat kind of thing. She has a wand, and she is a very underutilized character. She does have a great book. I like the book by Paul Dini, that because it showed her in a more it showed her after being on stage and her love life and stuff. And I think some people may not have liked that. But she's a member of the Justice League. She's a member of Justice League Dark, New 52, and Rebirth.
She can be either. You know what I mean? So she's on the Justice League when they need her. She's a great she's a good bridge between Justice League Dark and the Justice League. I feel like she's the best because you don't want Constantine to be that bridge. You know what I mean? What I love too is that like they tie her to Batman a little bit in some stories where her father was a famous I almost said musician. Her father was a famous magician who helped teach Batman how to be an escape artist. So she has a relationship with Batman. She's a super interesting character. And hold on, let me hit this one thing. I'm gonna ask him on Monday because I like to give him the weekends to be with his new baby and his family. I try not to bother him with work stuff on the weekend.
What DM covers that?
Let me just check right now. If I can.
What books
he wants to know if the DM cover of ROM 3 is out of stock. So I'll check and see if it is. But I don't know if more are going to be ordered. So let's see. Okay. So I don't think it says it's sold out. It looks like he has -5 in inventory. So I'll ask him on Monday if he can get more.
Wow,
like he's committed to 5
into his inventory. That's pretty cool.
Dude, I got everything now. Like the best part is every time you got an email saying someone used your commission code, wasn't there a little part of you that was curious what they bought?
Well, there's somebody out there, and I should have said something. I'll say it next week on Batter Days. I can't remember who it is. There's somebody out there that like every 2 months makes a gargantuan order, which gets me a huge commission. And I always thank them. And I can't think of who it was. It was somebody that's been following me a long time. I don't know what his YouTube name is. I mean, if you go back in the records for the year, he's made several frickin' orders. So I love it when those come through.
I got my first gargantuan order commission this week, and that was fun. Do you want to know? You are currently in second place to be a top partner of 2024. Who do you think?
I like that I'm in second place. No, peace and love. I'm in second place. That's better than being in last place.
Hey, you're above me, man. I'm fourth.
I appreciate everybody that uses my code, and God bless number one. I've never met him, but God bless him. And thank you to everyone.
Yeah, we should answer this to people. We have commission codes, and if you do use that, you get a discount, and we make 2%, but it doesn't charge you anything extra. It actually saves you money. So it's awesome that they support YouTubers like that, because they have YouTubers that are big and they have YouTubers that are pretty small, and they've given a lot of people a good chance to grow, you know. So I think that's really awesome that JP does that.
It's actually helped me a lot, as you saw with the most recent order I did. Okay. I got a bunch of books I wanted.
Let me see if I can find your most gargantuan order.
Okay, just a sec. I gotta go get some string cheese because I'm starving.
Do you think a live action Legion of Superhero movie could work? I think any movie could work if it is done with a good script in mind first. So I'm excited to see what's out there. Superman is my most hyped up movie in a long time. So I'm really excited to see what they do.
Okay. Do you think live action wise a Legion of Superheroes movie could work? Well, if they can do an X-Men movie with all those characters, I don't see why they couldn't do a Legion of Superheroes. But I think they'd have to lay the groundwork for a Legion of Superheroes.
I feel like maybe it would work better as a TV show or something, because there's so many characters. It would have to be a more, I think, smaller cast. You know what I mean? Like, give me a story of the Legion, of like 3 or 4 Legion members on a planet or something, and then maybe the ending is you see all the characters or something. But I don't think you could start with 60 characters. You know,
I agree.
What happens if Mr. Mictlepedic and Zatanna switch bodies, and one of them says their name backwards while in the other body?
Good question.
I am waiting for Volume 2 to release, and I'm going to binge all of it. And Jack, that's awesome. Maybe my idea of what to change your code to was a downside, so maybe you should change it again. I won't say it out loud. His code is an inappropriate pun. Yeah, I'll chat it to him secretly. We won't say it.
Okay.
And it was my idea as a joke, and he went with it. He can't. He can't even. Okay, so think about it. Omnidog, ship it together. Ship it together, and his YouTube name is a fifth of Jack. So he can't even type his name out on Whatnot because it's censored. His code out. So I sent it to him. I said it as a joke, and he actually asked JP to do it. That's wild.
I like the Jack even better now. That's so great. That Spooey, that Zatanna and Black Canary book are great. It's great. Bloodspell. That's really a good book. And you might be right about the fishnet stockings. That was awesome.
I also thought Zatanna was my favorite portion of Seven Soldiers.
I agree.
Yeah. But I also kind of did Clarion the Witch Boy.
Oh yeah, that's a great Grant Morrison book.
Yeah. Can I tell you why I think I disliked it? Because everyone talks about how that book was essential to understanding Final Crisis, right? Now, Final Crisis was the very first DC comic book I ever read.
Oh my God.
So I was at a bookstore, I was going to church camp, and my mom said you can get one book, and the cover was Superman holding a dead Batman. So, like, how was I not going to choose that? Like, what, you know what I mean? But the thing is, as much as everyone talks about Final Crisis being the most confusing book to ever understand, I didn't know enough to not know what I didn't know. So I just read it and went for the ride and loved it. And then afterwards, my friend said, you got to read 52 and then read Infinite Crisis. And I kind of found my way in there. 52 was like my favorite early thing that I read. But then everyone was like, as I became a reader, everyone was like, oh, you got to read Fourth World to understand Final Crisis. And then you got to read Seven Soldiers to understand Final Crisis.
Oh boy.
And I guess like people really hyped up Seven Soldiers as a bridge to Final Crisis. And I feel like they're not even related. Like there's like a one character that maybe they explain Boss Darkseid a tiny bit better, you know, but other than that, it's like, don't read it. Don't read Seven Soldiers thinking it's going to help you understand Final Crisis better. Just read it as its own story.
Yeah.
7 separate characters who never meet each other, and just read it as a standalone story. And I think you'll be better off.
I agree with that.
And
100%.
You look at Verifine's was Crisis on Infinite Earth 7.
Wow.
Every comic is someone's first. That's like the biggest trap when you get into a collection. Someone asked in your Discord today, what's the difference between a collection and a library? And I said a collection you don't read, a library you read.
In my Discord, they said that? I missed that.
The first question they asked is, how many books do you need to have a library? And my answer was more than one. Just anything more than one. Because if you compare, like, comparison is a thief of joy. When I got into this hobby, you know, like I looked at other people's collection and it robbed me of the joy of my own collection for the size that it was. You know what I mean? If you compare your collection to other people, your collection is never enough. It's never going to be enough. And the other thing is with encyclopedia reading, if you get into that trap of, oh, I really want to read Punisher Max by Jason Aaron, and you get into that trap that you can't enjoy this unless you've read these 4 Punisher books before it. You know what I mean? That is such a trap. Sometimes you just got to jump into a book. And if you don't know something, ask someone in your Discord or my Discord or Google it. Like, comics are meant to be understandable. And, you know, like sometimes you don't need to go Daredevil issue 1, all, you know, from the Silver Age all the way up to Zdarsky. You can just pick a great Daredevil book and read it. You know, I guess that's the hill I try to push people on, because it's such a trap thinking you need to read everything in a specific order, because that robs you of joy also.
Right.
So we look at a big order you've had recently.
Oh, yeah.
Was it Tyler?
I actually don't know the person's name.
Okay. Cool.
I know their YouTube name.
Yeah. Trust me, break out of that trap. Read what you want to read, how you want to read it. There is no right way or wrong way to read books. Like, if I wanted to start with ROM Volume 3 and not read Volumes 1 and 2, that's also perfectly valid. You know, you'll get more context in some ways, but also sometimes, like, telling yourself, I'm going to read these 5 Daredevil Omnis in a row, sometimes you get burnt out trying to do that, and then you don't get to the one you actually want to read, you know? Like, it's okay to just, sometimes you need it though. Like, don't do Brubaker 1 before, you know, Bendis, but like most of the time you can just read the book you want to read, you know? Oh, I love this. News story.
Yeah.
People would ask Harlan Ellison if he read all the books he owned, and he said, who wants a library filled with books you've already read?
Brilliant. Brilliant.
Jason Aaron signed my first issue of Absolute Superman.
Oh, your LCS? That's cool.
I got I didn't have any Jason Aaron Omnis at the time I met Jason Aaron, so I bought a trade paperback of his Thor run. So
Oh,
that's
cool.
what I have signed. I will say of the three, Absolute Superman is the one I'm looking least forward to. I read it over. I watched an overview of the first issue, and I think it's cool. I love how they flipped the Kryptonian side on its head, but I will say Wonder Woman is the one I'm most excited about.
That's what everybody's been talking about, that Wonder Woman run.
But that's what's hard about being a collected editions reader is like you always think like I want this series so bad, but then like what am I going to do with the single issues? They're going to go in a box somewhere and I'm never going to see him again, you know?
Yeah.
I met him at WonderCon in Anaheim.
Nice.
Focusing on finishing something will ruin the journey. So any other books you got in your mega haul?
Yeah. Elseworlds Batman Volume 2. Cycle
is that-
Cleveland's
That's
favorite
different
art.
than the other Elseworlds book?
Sorry?
That's different than the other Elseworlds book you just showed off, right?
That was a Justice League one, yeah.
Nice.
But I'm getting all the Elseworlds books. And this has the Kelly Jones art that I genuinely hate. But it's well written, so I'm going to... Oh, gosh. I just really don't care for Kelly Jones art. Peace and love. I know lots of people, including Cycle Cleveland, love him. But
and I just want to make it clear, if Kelly Jones is watching right now, this does not reflect the opinions
friend of the
of
channel.
Brave and the Boys LLC.
But the story's good despite the kind of crazy art. So this was Elseworlds Volume 2. I'm going to get all of them. Then I got I think this was recommended. I can't remember who recommended this. Maybe Reaper? Crave, a mysterious app that promises to make your desires come true, spreads among the students of an elite university who use it as a hookup app. David, a top student, engages in a game of seduction with the unattainable Alexandra. But as requests to the app escalate and wreak havoc on campus, David and his friends' only chance to stop this spiral is to find out what really lies behind Crave. It just sounded really cool to me.
That's awesome. Can we get an idea how high the stack of shame is right now? How many books?
It's not a stack of shame. It's a haul.
No. I meant the stack of shame that you have besides this haul. I'm trying to see how much we're adding to it.
Oh, I have a bookshelf of shame that's double stacked, and I have a shelf in my closet in the small room of shame. So,
but don't feel shame from it, because who wants books they've already read?
Right. Totally agree with that.
Jake, out of what's in print, what Daredevil Omni should I get? So if it's still in print, I think it is. I would hop on Bendis Volume 1. There is such a minor misprint in it that I've read that whole book and never even realized there was a misprint. Apparently, they reprinted it with that same slight misprint. So if that's something that bothers you, maybe not. But I love the art. I love the writing. And that'll get you into the path of getting Bendis Volume 2, then Brewbakers when they come back in, and that'll connect into your Wades and your Zdarsky's. But of what's in print, I think Bendis Volume 1 is the best option. The one I really want, the only one I'm missing, I think, that I want is Marvel Knights to get reprinted.
Marvel Knights, which run? Punisher?
I think they have the Daredevil in with a couple other characters in the Omni.
Okay, that one. Okay. Oh, you're talking Daredevil. Okay.
That book has some not safe for work in it.
I figured that. Yeah.
Hey, buddy, do you need some food? I know you miss mommy. They're being sad. They miss their mom. Can you take the show on for a second? I'll give him some.
Yeah, I'll show some more of what I collect. My stack.
Okay.
Alexander, yeah, the Marvel Knights one is partly by Kevin Smith. Which is the best jumping on point? Justice League Dark. You could actually read them separately. They're both good. Rebirth is fantastic. I think you could start Rebirth and be fine. But you can read New 52 first and then Rebirth. it'd be a great reading experience. New Rebirth is completely different because it's got Magic Wonder Woman in it, which is awesome. And actually, somebody that could help. True Graphic Novel just showed up, who went to see Venom 3. She could answer that question because she just read both of them, and I think I know she read. I think she read Rebirth twice of JLD. So True Graphic could answer your question for you. This one's Memoria. When an old, ill detective and a young burnout detective are partnered up and saddled with an unsolvable case, they begin to unravel a sprawling conspiracy that points to one thing: a serial killer who has murdered hundreds. As they further investigate the case, they make discoveries that will force them to question everything and everyone they know.
Wait, what was the description of the detectives?
An old, ill detective and a young, burnt-out detective.
What does an old, ill detective mean? Is that like a description, or does it mean he's sick?
He's old and sick, yeah.
Oh, okay.
This says it's True Detective meets Lethal Weapon in the films of David Fincher in this sprawling crime drama. So it sounded good to me, so I got that. I also got Hexagon Bridge. Oh,
okay.
I know.
Dude, I'm learning about so many books I've never even heard about before.
I think this is from Reaper also. After explorers Jacob and Elena find themselves trapped in a strange parallel dimension, their clairvoyant daughter Adley and sentient robot Staten embark on a dangerous mission to rescue them. Pushing onward, they encounter mischievous beings amidst uncanny shifting landscapes and discover a world beyond belief. Gosh, this sounds interesting to me.
See, this is why that show I'm working on with Bunk is going to be so great, because there's so many wild indie books that I've never heard of. And it's going to be great for me to have to try to guess, looking at the art and stuff, what the story is about.
How could you guess what this is about? It just looks, it does look like a parallel world, but
I think I saw that when I took DMT one time and went to space. No, I don't even know how to describe that. But I do know how to describe what Wonder Woman I'd start with. Honestly, I think it comes out this week. How is it the only one not on my stack? Are you kidding me? I was gonna grab Wonder Woman. I don't know where it is, but Wonder Woman by Gail Simone is one I would start with. It's what I started with. I think it is modern enough so that anyone can enjoy it, and it shows every side of Wonder Woman that I love. So you get to see her as a human, but also as an Amazonian, a warrior, compassionate, empathetic, but also fierce and strong. And you get to see human moments, but it also flips her origin on her head, on its head, where maybe not all the Themyscirians were happy about her. And lastly, it has awesome villains. There's this guy with like a black heart that feels like it's out of an epic. She fights demons. There's gorillas. And there's this awesome villain named Genocide who puts the beat down on Wonder Woman. So Wonder Woman is what I would start with. And there's a finest edition that is collecting more than the omnibus did, or at least they will. And I got mine signed by Gail Simone, and she said there's a little bit of Wonder Woman in all of us.
Nice.
And I'm guessing with you, it's going to be like the Greg Rucka run I've always heard about that I haven't read yet.
That is great, but I won't argue with Gail Simone. Oh, True Graphic. Yes, I read both, and Carlos, it does not really matter which one you read first. You don't need to read JLD New 52 before you read JLD Rebirth. I read JLD Rebirth before I thought she had read those recently, so that's great.
I never read the I never read the New 52 run, but I read some of that Rebirth run in single issues, and I remember loving it. But I also remember that there seemed to be a lot of crossovers early on. It crossed over with Wonder Woman a little bit, and some other stuff.
Oh,
so I remember feeling because I feel like crossovers are a little bit harder when you're a single issue person, because it just feels like they're getting you to buy more things. Every time I'd show up, it was he's like, "Oh, you're reading Justice League? I threw an Aquaman Drowned Earth 2 for you. And I'm like, what's Drowned Earth? It's like, yeah, they're all fish. And I'm like, I don't want to read this, man. Like, I want to read the Justice League doing cool things. I don't want to read them where everyone's a fish. They keep asking me this, and I have not got to read more, but I am on the key original appearance of the Vulture.
Oh.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's just, I'm going to be honest, as much as I love Atashin, it's such a big book, it's hard to pull off the shelf, and like you got to find the right table for it, you know? And the older issues, like, they're so good, but they also, like, you can read a modern Omni so much faster than you can read something older. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy. Yes, Wonder Woman: The Witching Hour.
Yeah, that's included in JLD Rebirth.
I loved Jess's description of that book. I told him the other day, I go, sometimes when panel layouts are too complex, I get a little confused or lost. And he goes, I don't know what you're talking about. And then he texted me later that night. He goes, Justice League Dark is 1,000 pages of that. And I'm like, oh no. That's why I haven't started yet. I'm stressed. Oh, my cat's sad. He misses his mom.
Okay, this one is Sins of the Salton Sea.
Okay. Let me guess what it's about. Do you know what it's about or no?
I mean, I did when I read the description.
Okay. So I'm getting the vibe that there's secret agents, but also maybe sea monsters. So I'm going to say they are drilling offshore. They're drilling offshore for some sort of natural gas or oil, and they've encountered sea monsters. So this guy, this awesome hitman guy, is set to have to fight the sea monsters, but maybe there's this random person that has a connection with the sea monsters.
Okay. One last job. Wyatt, a professional thief living off the grid,
Okay.
is recruited by his brother for one last job. Their target, an armored car traveling down a desolate stretch of California highway. But when it turns out their target is carrying not gold bars, but human cargo.
Oh my God.
Yeah, Wyatt is plunged into a conflict between warring factions of a doomsday cult. The cult claims that it is their solemn duty to save the world by means of human sacrifice. Will Wyatt protect the boy who has come into his charge, or will he be swayed by the cult's increasingly convincing claims that the end of the world is approaching fast? Yeah, Chris, these seem like books that you dig, right? These are just completely random, interesting books. I think I have Reaper to thank for these. He earlier in the year he was reading them in floppies, and he recommended a lot of these. Let's see. Oh, the fourth book of Fantastic Four by Ryan North. I gotta read all four of these. It's supposed to be awesome, and everybody loves it.
So, I've seen that art before.
I definitely want to read it. I now that I have 4, that's 22 issues. I really need to read this. He said about every book he ever owned.
Do you ever wonder if you collect too many formats?
No.
Because you don't. I feel like you're better at not upgrading than I am.
Yeah, I don't like to upgrade, really. It feels like I'm just spending more money, which I am.
That's fair. That's fair. But you're gonna say, like, that art on the back of the Fantastic Four book looked amazing. Is that what the art looks like inside, or was that like?
Oh, good question. Let's see. Okay, that's the art on the back. Uh-oh, stretchy neck and stretchy eyeballs.
Have you ever admitted who your favorite Fantastic Four member is?
I don't know. Oh, this is cool. My favorite Fantastic Four member was when Invisible Woman had her own solo series written by Mark Waid. I love that.
We have a question from fellow cat lover, someone who might even love cats more than me, New Stewie. Were those barbecue mix-up temptations or chicken mix-up temptations? It was actually their favorite, which is backyard cookout,
Oh,
which is a mixture of chicken, liver, and beef. And Grayson was crying in the other room, so I shook the treats up thinking he'd come back in, but he's still crying from the other room.
aw. And believe it or not, this Iron Man is part of the fall of X because somehow he's married to Emma Frost. So I had to get this. This is the third one. I believe this is the final. Oh, it's by Jerry Duggan. I really like him.
Is it hard to see someone live your dream? Like, do you wish you could be married to Emma Frost?
Yeah, sure.
What's Tony Stark doing with your woman, man?
I don't know, man. He's rich and famous and an inventor, and he has.
But you're the adorable Omnidog. You have been separating readers from their money since 2017.
So, Iron Man and the X-Men continues to collide the world. So, I think this looks good. I'm not sure where it goes in the fall of X order.
I shook the barbecue cookout treats and he didn't come. So if he wanders back in here, I will show you Grayson on camera. Gotcha. Backyard is the barbecue one I was thinking of. They really don't like. I have the most snooty cats, man. The most spoiled cats in existence. The most like happy to be the kids of dinks you've ever seen. They refuse to eat the chicken flavored treats, even if they have nothing else. They don't like because they're over that flavor. I'm so annoying. So yeah. The last ones I think I've shown off before, you've seen, I think, but I'll show off the new ones. The only one I'm missing is Wonder Woman, which is somewhere. I don't know where it is. But the DC's finest.
Nice.
So
those are all so great.
My question is this. So if you look at the back of them, they show where in the date range that story takes place.
Okay.
The window that they give you, the original one is 1938 and the final one is 2011. So does that mean they are not going to collect anything New 52 and above in a DC Finest collection?
Oh, interesting.
That's my question, because they haven't said. So the most recent we have is Gail Simone Wonder Woman at 2008. And True Graphic Novel, I put them on conservative, but Jess said, do aggressive.
That is not true.
I said, no, I would never. I would just do conservative.
It's so not true.
We did conservative. I can't control them. I'm so sorry. So this is fun because here's the coolest thing about these ones. There has been an out of print book that is not worth the money that it goes for. I learned that the hard way.
Uh-oh.
You know me. I love Jason Todd as much as the next guy, maybe more than the next guy, right?
Sure.
Have you heard of a trade paperback book called Second Chances?
Yeah, I have that.
Yeah, it goes for a lot of money right now.
Oh, it does?
Yeah.
I'll get rid of it.
And it is going to be collected in full between this and the next DC Finest book.
Oh.
So the next one is Killing Joke and Other Stories. So I was talking with Chris Balga, my co-host, and he has every Caped Crusader and every Dark Knight Detective. The only thing he's missing in his chronological Batman story to have all of them is Second Chances. And he told me he gave up ever dreaming of owning it because of how expensive it is.
How
so
expensive is it?
I shipped it to him for free.
You bought Second Chances and got it for him?
No, I already had it. I got it for $50 because there's a little bit of a coffee stain on the bottom of like under this portion. So I wasn't gonna sell it to him because it wasn't in like perfect condition, but I shipped him Second Chances because I mean I'm gonna get these finest editions I'm probably gonna get the next wave from DC also. So why not just get one that completes his set and then he doesn't need to buy a new format, he's done. His post
That's awesome.
Batman is good. Because like What's it doing on my shelf? I'm never gonna read it again. It's 4 mediocre Jason Todd issues. Let me go on eBay. Let me see what it goes for. Maybe I should put Batman. 150.
Is that? Did you go to sold? What it's actually sold for?
Oh, let me go for sold. How do I do that again? I don't do it on the computer often.
You go down the left side.
Okay, I'm on the left side. Show only sold items. Okay. 120, 110, 100, 95, 118, 124.
Wow.
174.
Okay, I might sell it. When's it coming out?
This came out on Tuesday, which collects the first half of it. And then the next one is coming out pretty soon, and that'll have Dom of X. When is the release date as the voice of the Finest Collection? When is Killing Joke and Other Stories coming out? And
that'll be the second half of Second Chances.
Yeah.
Chris.
But then you also have to buy the Killing Joke again.
That's all right. I'll just skip it.
I know everyone gets like, I'm never buying Absolute Dark Knight Returns because it's packaged with Strikes. You don't gotta read it. Just read the first half.
Chris Brogan, is the Obscure Cities book you're talking about Captain Nemo? If so, I've already got it, and it's a bit of an outlier. It's kind of an illustrated prose book.
Sorry, it's got 5/20/2025. So, are you okay only owning half of Second Chances until is that June 20th?
I think that's May 20th.
Oh, okay, May 20th.
Oh,
Dom, should we send Dom the stream, or do you got to get going soon?
No, bring him on.
Okay.
Love that guy. Yeah. Do you want me to get it, Chris? I know right where it is, and I can show you. Well, Jake's getting Dom on. Just a sec. I know right where it is.
So basically, Dom, what I was saying is I gifted my copy of Second Chances to a friend who has every Cape Crusader and every Dark Knight Detective because he didn't want to jump into the new format of the Finest editions. So I said, hey, man, you can have my copy of Second Chances because it goes for stupid money on eBay right now because Batman 1 and 2 and Killing Joke and Other Stories will collect Second Chances again. So why not complete his set? And then he doesn't need to, because like that would bug me to have almost the entire perfect set and then have to like split it between another format, you know? So he's eating dinner and we'll join in a sec.
Oh,
so,
okay.
Okay, why don't we pick this? What's the best Zatanna story she should read on DC Infinite since she can't buy physical books right now? Once you're done showing off your book.
The Paul Dini run, I think.
That was the one that was out of print for a while, but they brought it back this year, right?
Yeah, and then there's another one, Black Canary and Zatanna Bloodspell. That's really good too.
Everyone loved Dom, even his new secret admirer.
Is that the cougar? The cougar that loves Dom?
Okay.
This is the Obscure Cities Return of Captain Nemo. Very oversized. I know. I've had a lot of string cheese.
We don't shame string cheese eaters here. This is a cheese. Should I go make a milkshake?
Yeah, have a milkshake. I didn't have dinner, so I'm starving.
Do you want to hold this? Do you want to go make it? Should we go split in turns? So you go cover the show while I make a milkshake, and then you go grab food and I drink my milkshake on stream because I don't want to leave.
Sure.
So okay.
That's fine. I can show the rest of my haul and show this book. That's fine.
Help me plan my milkshake first, though. So I have two kinds of ice cream.
Okay.
So these are what I got. I got Reese's peanut butter cup ice cream.
Ooh.
And I got homemade vanilla ice cream. I didn't home make it. That's the name of the flavor. Which apparently because of how much I buy homemade vanilla ice cream from Breyers, I got an email from a law firm that said you're entitled to join the class action lawsuit against Breyers because they. I'm like, oh my god, I've eaten so much homemade Breyers vanilla ice cream because it's my wife's whole thing is she gets overstimulated by flavor. That's why like eating can be boring, but with her, but like. We compromised on that flavor because I can mix things in with it in the milkshake. But apparently it has no real vanilla in it. So they've been acting like there's been real vanilla. So they said for every receipt you submit that shows you've bought in a carton of Breyers homemade vanilla in the past 5 years, you get $1. And I'm like, who keeps receipts? Imagine if I open this drawer and I have to reckon with 65 cartons of Breyers homemade vanilla ice cream that I've eaten in the past year with my wife that I get, you know what I mean? Like who does that? And they're right. Do you keep, is that an older generation thing? Like people keep receipts? Cause I've never written a check in my entire life. Who does that?
Yeah, I believe that. I believe you've never, I thought of that the other day when I was writing a check for something. I said, and I wrote cursive on it. I was like, this is something Jake has no idea. I bet he's never written a check and he doesn't even know cursive.
My wife sometimes writes checks to the landlord, but she like when we first moved in together, she's like, "Can I see your checkbook?" And I just started giggling. I don't even know where to get a checkbook from.
The bank.
Yeah, I guess. Okay, yeah, that makes.
Do you have an online bank or do you have a physical bank?
Both.
Okay.
Yeah, we keep an online bank because they give you more money for the money, you know, like rate. But I go to Chase for the convenience. And I color blue. Okay, so I have vanilla or Reese's ice cream, and then for mix-ins, I have peanut butter, Captain Crunch, fudge. I don't know, maybe sprinklers.
Fudge what?
Like hot fudge.
Vanilla and hot fudge.
Okay, so make the vanilla milkshake and then pour the hot fudge on top, right?
No, I'd put the hot fudge in it. I'd make it a hot fudge milkshake with.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Mix it all together.
Okay. Sounds good. You can.
Oh my god, that sounds good.
But I also have peanut butter.
You could throw that in and make the Reese's peanut butter cup milkshake.
Wait. What if I do hot fudge in the Reese's? The reason I got hot fudge, okay, here's why I'm pushing for. I'm gonna go do the Reese's because I never buy it because my wife doesn't like it, and it feels gluttonous to get my own carton of ice cream, right? So I bought 2 things this weekend with my wife being gone. She hates avocados, so I bought a container of guacamole, and I feel like I've said that's the whitest thing in the world. And I bought a Reese's peanut butter cup ice cream. So you run the show. Oh wait, but do I make it on the blender or do I use the milkshake mode on my Ninja Creamy?
I feel like Ninja Creamy might take too long.
It does take too long. That Kato, have you ever used the milkshake mode on your Ninja Creamy? Let us know in the comments while Jess talks about the little Nemo.
Okay. Vanessa, milkshakes are my favorite food too. They are nature's perfect food, I think. I love milkshakes. Okay, this is Obscure Cities, The Return of Captain Nemo. And it's different than the other books as it's got lots of really cool illustrations, but it's got prose. And there go the mix-ins that came with it, the extras. I think I got this on Kickstarter. And Curtis has told me this is the last one, so not all of them are getting reprinted because they didn't sell well, which is disappointing. So I have all of them. Actually, this isn't too bad. It's not like super prosy. It's just little blocks of prose, so that's not bad. I had different visions of what this would be like. So the illustrations are amazing. I mean, look at that line work. That's crazy. And look at this line work. Wow. How did this not sell? These are awesome. So yeah, this is the return of Captain Nemo. Wait, that looks like a, what the heck? That looks like some kind of Cthulhu in there. Oh, I guess he's just telling individual stories with these illustrations. Wow, look at those. So yeah, this is it, Chris. The artist's selling point, because honestly, the stories have not been good. How many? I have all of them that they have printed. I don't, Chris. I don't have. I feel like there's some that did not get reprinted, so I have all the ones that got reprinted, and then the original. I have a couple originals that I didn't need reprinted, but sorry, dupe. Sorry. Yeah. So what was I saying? Yeah. So I think I have them all, the ones that are available. Vanessa, I for real could live just eating milkshakes and smoothies. Yeah. Milkshakes are nature's perfect food. Proof that God exists. They are amazing. Chris, I see what your last comment is. Curtis told me they are not selling well, and so they're not going to continue them. So that's all I know. I mean, maybe they I got the Kickstarter, so maybe they kickstart them. But Curtis said, and Curtis is pretty dialed in. So I would say, whoops, that's not a haul. Sorry, I put it in the haul pile. Mr. Awesome, favorite milkshakes? My favorite milkshake is a chocolate malt. I love chocolate malts. That's what I get when I spend $50 at Five Guys for a burger and a milkshake. I always get a chocolate malt, and it's way good. Why don't I finish my haul while our host, is making his milkshake. Local Man has come highly recommended to me. Shocking Mistake, Volume 2. So I need to get Volume 1. I saw that it was on the Bezos site, so I'm going to have to get it. This says Jack Zaver, Farmington, Wisconsin's very own local man, is called in to investigate a mysterious drowning on dry land. This is a superhero book. But there's a conspiracy theory gaining traction that Jack murdered America's most beloved champion, the Camo Crusader. Dive into another twisted case with dark ties to Jack's superhero past. Well, I'm going to have to get book 1. Oh, you're meeting Tony Flex tomorrow, Bunk? I need to get volume 1 before I read this. But I've heard a lot of great things. Maybe, Bunk, are you the one that told me about Local Man? It's certainly possible. Yeah, my shirt is looking at you, Geomancer. Let's see. Other milkshakes that I will drink. There's in Pittsburgh, the Minister of Comics took me to a place that makes only milkshakes. It's called the Milkshake Factory. And it was like 10 minutes from his house. I think we went 3 times. I had a cookies and cream that rocked. Cookies and cream. Then I think I got, there was something called like the chocolate midnight or something. The glass the glass was coated in chocolate syrup, like thick chocolate syrup. And then the chocolate shake went in it. Holy guacamole. It was unbelievable. Oh, Graders. Yeah, I know Graders, Chris. At least 3 times a week I've been grabbing cookies and cream and strawberry shakes, cookies and cream. It's getting gluttonous. I don't blame you, man. I shade on no one that loves milkshakes. Wow. So I got to get volume 2. Maybe Bunk is the one that told me about it. And then it's happening someday soon. I will be reading a manga. Manga. Yeah, manga. Because Charles Schultz is one of my childhood heroes, and I know just about everything about him and his creation, I think that it is possible that I might be able to follow this manga. It looks complicated. but I'm gonna give it a shot. I do know the story, so and I feel like there's little. No, okay, yeah. So I'm gonna actually, William Lee, yeah. I'm going to join a Thursday stream and read this and join the Thursday Manga Bros stream. This is a big undertaking because it's a manga and I have trouble reading them. But peace and love. I love Charles Schultz. Dom of X loves milkshakes. I'm waiting for Jake to finish his. Now, this is a book I feel like Super Laugh Hard turned me on to. I haven't started reading it yet. It's by Dan Abnett. It's called Brink. It's definitely British because it's from 2000 AD. There's 5 books. This is the 5th. The year is 2096, and Earth has been reduced to an uninhabited wasteland. What was left of humanity was evacuated into overpopulated space stations or habitats. Nolan something, a journalist working for the Herald, is investigating the death of HSD agent Brinkman and the sect that has infiltrated the maintenance workers of Ludmilla habitat. He will find out that even his most outrageous theories cannot encompass what is actually happening behind the scenes of the habitat.
Ugh. Sorry, my cats, all 3 of them ganged up on me when they saw me pull the ice cream out, and they were like, hey, you're getting a treat. We're getting treats. So
everybody's talking about milkshakes. So what is that?
I think I overdid the milk today, so it's a little loose, but I did Reese's peanut butter cup, hot fudge, and peanut butter with milk.
Oh, take a sip and tell us how it is.
Wait, hold on. Let me grab one last thing that's going to add to it. Do one more book. I'll be right back in 2 seconds.
Cream. This one is The Forged by Greg Rucka. I think it's volume 3. Yeah. This is the oversized trade paperback. Wow, the art is wild. The Eternal Empire is at war against an alien species from another universe, collectively called the Phobes. For millennia.
What?
Whoa, Dom of X!
Good evening, guys. Hope you're doing well. Sorry I'm
What
a
up?
little late, but I had some dinner.
How
had some
dare
meat
you be
dinner.
late?
You're not late. You're right on time, man. What was the extra thing you got? A cookie or something?
You'll see.
Oh, Reese's peanut butter cup. Wow, living large.
So I don't normally eat like this, but I mean,
Yes, you do.
yes, I do. No, this is a special treat because my wife is gone and I never get to order the ice cream I want selfishly. She goes, we can get 2 different cartons, but like that feels, then I have to, at least now when we finish a carton, I go, we finished that together. You know,
It's cheat day. That you deserve one sometimes in a while. I know that I can't have
7
many
days
of
a
those,
week.
but yeah.
it's really good. It could have been too rich, but it's not. I'm happy with it.
Are you tasting the
Yes.
peanut butter and the fudge?
I think the fudge kind of congeals a little bit later on. Like I think I'll get down to it. Or maybe it was better that I blended it. Because but it's good. I taste more peanut butter than chocolate.
Oh.
Did I do it wrong? He seems disappointed.
Well, yeah, I wanted it to all to taste like chocolate and peanut butter.
I'm getting negative points for not doing the whipped cream and cherry. I don't have whipped cream, but I thought about this. Tell me if this would have been too far. I got this for my iced coffee and my coffee that I make every day. I have sweet cream. With sweet cream, it like doesn't like whip up at the top, but it makes like a nice layer. Would that have been good or would that have been weird?
I think my mom sometimes dabbles that with her coffee, so I think you're good on that front. Yeah.
Yeah, but would it have been good in a milkshake? Because it's great in coffee.
Oh, okay. That I can't say.
Have a few sips and then go bring it in and pour it on top.
Okay, I'll do it.
Come on, your wife's not at home. This is the perfect time.
Okay, lead the show, boys.
I'm finishing my haul, Don.
Okay.
What did you ever
dude,
do?
I love
What did
that
you?
book.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, I do.
I haven't started reading it yet. This is volume 3. I'm so happy you know about it.
The only reason I pitched into it, well, 2 reasons actually. Greg Rucka and Mr. Henderson on art. It is fantabulous.
Wow, that's great. I don't
Yeah,
even
you put
remember
Greg
how
Rucka's name on a book, there's like a 99% chance I'll pick it up at some point because I'm
Yeah.
always whatever he's doing. I think he and Brubaker are at the same like level for me where it's just like a mutual sense of respect that I just got to pick up whatever they're doing. I love that it's like oversized too. I
Yeah.
remember like seeing it at the comic shop. I was like, oh, this isn't the usual standard trim size that I'm used to, but
Yeah.
Jake jumping up and down on it.
No, it was the sweet cream foam.
Oh,
You just went up and down on the chair. Bob.
he moved his whole body to shake it up. Oh, that looks
There's
perfect.
also a Bulbasaur in the back.
Oh, Bulbasaur, right on, man.
I tried to get matching Crocs with Dom, and he vetoed me.
It's
was
not
like,
my
we could-
fault. I like the
no,
Jigglypuff
we
ones
can get
more.
Gengar Crocs together. Oh wait, hold on. This is for homework that I fit the Jack is working on for Jess.
I have no clue. I can't even identify. Wait, Maximus Primus? No, that's from Gladiator. Prime? No, wait. Rodimus? No, Rodimus Prime Rib's a viewer. Optimus Prime. I can't identify him or the bad guy who's malevolent. I can't. No, I don't know any of them.
We're gonna play a game, Jess. I'm gonna give you 5 names. You're gonna tell me which 3 are real and which 2 are fake.
This is fun. We should have done this for the 2. You know what? We gotta do that's an Urban Condition idea. We gotta get that now. Anyways.
So
we'll invite us.
Of course. You guys are gonna be the reason why I do it in the first place.
Ready? Tell me when you're ready.
Okay, this is 5 Transformers. 2 are fake.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Someone give me the music. Dom, give me the music for the game show.
Today
Today on Real or Fake Transformer, we're gonna start you off easy, but it's gonna get harder. Starting up first, is Optimus Prime real or fake? Optimus Prime.
Optimus Prime is real.
And bonus points for just this one, only this one. Is it a Autobot or a Decepticon?
Oh, Decepticons are bad. That's an Autobot.
It's in the name.
They have Decept in the name. They're not called the honest bots. They're not called the morally upstanding bots. Okay.
I did know that Decepticons were bad.
Next up, Thunderblade.
Thunderblade.
Is Thunderblade real or fake?
Can I pass?
I'll read you all. Yeah, we'll read you all the names.
Okay.
So Optimus Prime was the gimme. That's the one that we'd give you so that you don't feel bad. You know.
Yes.
Thunderblade.
It's the equivalent of
Bludgeon.
You could choose a Pokemon or not.
What? Yeah. Bludgeon.
Thunderblade. Bludgeon. Storm Splitter. Thundercracker.
Jiminy Crickets.
Not the Jiminy Crickets reference.
What was the second one? Blunderbuss?
Was that like an old-timey gun? Blunderbuss?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Thunderblade.
All right. I will say, okay, do them again. So Optimus Prime.
Yeah.
What were the last 2?
Bludgeon, Storm Splitter, Thundercracker.
Thundercracker doesn't sound real to me. Should
we go easier? Do you want to start easier, or do you want to go for these ones?
We can just go with these ones. I don't know any of them. I thought you were going to give me like Starscream and something else that I might have known. But
this was the
Bumble,
easy one.
Yeah, Bumblebee.
Which of these are real? Optimus Prime Steel Claw, Megatron, Sunstorm, and Blazewing.
I know Megatron's right.
Okay, and is he an Autobot or is he a Liarcon?
He's a Decepticon. He's the head of the Decepticons.
Okay.
Most of the time.
Now, how are we feeling about Steel Claw? Because that could either be an Autobot or a Decepticon, I think.
But it also could be fake, right? Or am I just trying to figure?
But so could Sunstorm and Blazewing. Which do you think is the real one out of Steel Claw, Sunstorm, and Blazewing?
Sunstorm sounds like a new mutant. So
what would their power be if they were a new mutant?
The
power of the sun.
Yeah, exactly. And then they'd be able to eclipse at will. I'll say Steel Claw is real.
And are you thinking that Steel Claw is a Decepticon or an Autobot?
Oh, wow. Steel Claw. I'll go Decepticon.
Really? Final answer?
I don't like how you said really. Yes.
Okay, it's locked in. So
isn't Steel Claw a character from Baldur's Gate?
Would it, Jess, would it blow your mind if I told you Steel Claw was not a Decepticon or an Autobot? Because Steel Claw is fake.
Oh, bummer.
The real one was Sunstorm.
Sunstorm. That sounds so fake.
Well,
Sunstorm. What he
better,
turned
Jess,
into?
if it makes you feel better, all the names are made up. Some were just made up by the creators, and others by So according to James, his questions are too simple. My questions was harder.
I didn't get any of them. I don't know anything. What does Sunstorm turn into? What does he transform into?
A solar powered RV. I'm just kidding. I don't know. Let's Google it.
I actually believe that.
Wait, Dom. I thought of a fun show we could do because I don't know any X-Men knowledge. We should play real or fake X-Men.
We should do that. Man, there's so many ones I could pull in too.
Oh yeah,
that'd be a fun show.
Get a whole bunch of other ex-illiterates on the
ex-illiterates.
Okay, you ready to see what Sunstorm looks like?
Yeah.
Sunstorm. We go to his wiki. He is a Decepticon seeker.
Oh, he transforms into a plane type thing?
Into a jet.
Oh, cool. But he's a Decepticon.
Yeah.
Jerk.
Yeah.
Cool plane though. Oh.
Okay, so of the harder ones, it said Thunderblade, Bludgeon, and Thundercracker are all Transformers. Which one did you think wasn't? Well, we know it's Steel Claw.
I said Steel Claw, yeah.
Jess,
yeah, James. I know. I actually would love to do that. I will be happy.
He's a little busy with Who Wants to Be a Brave Boy Millionaire. That's taking up his time right now.
James, I'm happy to talk to you about doing that. It sounds like a lot of fun.
He made all the slides, and then I hit him with, well, I need a few lifelines, so I need 50-50 options and a phone a friend. He's like, oh my god, I'm up to like.
Man, we should do that. We should do that. Who could be a chameleonaire? How does that work in pun terms?
Omnidog Jeopardy is done, but real or fake X-Men is not, and that would be great. I would make such a fool of myself. I feel like we can play it right now. Let's do it right now because I don't know anything about X-Men. Dom, you can think of 2 real X-Men and a fake one. Tell me their names, and I'll ask 2 or 3 questions. I'll ask 2 questions to try to guess what the real or which one's the fake X-Men.
Man, putting me on the spot. This is worse than my impromptu speeches. Okay.
You think of it up. Jess can show off his next book while you're getting ready, and I will sip my milkshake. And then, Jess, when you're ready, we'll hold down the fort. You can go get food. When you're.
Oh, I'm set. I'm fine.
Okay,
thank
cool.
you.
You got a string cheese. You're good.
Yeah, I had like 6 string cheese. So, Wolverine Sabretooth War Part 2. Dom's favorite character.
Sabretooth?
That character. Part of the fall of X. Superman the Triangle era.
I was
Which
so
I
pumped
need.
for that, and then it got put on my shelf, never to be seen again.
I think Jessica and I are going to read this, not for this coming episode, but maybe just January or something. We're going to read like half of it or something.
There's fun stuff.
Yeah, I remember loving this era a lot. Like Crisis of the Crimson Kryptonite, that was fun. Count Crowley, this will be in my next video. She is a hostess of a creature feature Saturday night show, and she's also a monster hunter because there's real monsters in her world. And I read the first 2 books and I really dug them. This is a really fun, campy, goofball book that's got thriller and scary stuff in it. So I dig that.
Kenneth is pumped for Superman the Triangle Years.
Yeah,
and
he
Chris
should be.
has to catch up on Count Crowley.
Oh,
Which volume of Count Crowley was that?
I'm glad Chris has read it. It's really good.
James calling you out. It's been done since June.
House of Brainy.
I know. You're right. I apologize. I really do want to do it. House of Brainiac, my latest Superman. Is this still PKJ? No, this is Joshua Williamson. Okay.
Yeah, it's the Williamson crossover between Action and Superman. Right before Absolute Power.
Oh, okay.
Okay, are you ready, Dom? Have you got your?
I have got my 3 whenever Jess is ready.
Okay, no, I can pause. I got 2 more books, but I'm happy.
No, show the books. Show the books.
Okay,
you got to show off the Red Sonja. Yes, sir.
Black, White, and Red signed edition. Who do you think signed it?
I only know of one Red Sonja writer, but I don't think she wrote
I'm gonna say Lucio Perillo.
And Jake, who do you say?
The only Red Sonja I know is Gail Simone. Okay. Oh,
you got it.
That's right, our gal Gail. She's awesome. God, this book looks so great. It's a bunch of
stories in there.
It's a bunch of it's an anthology, and I just love Red Sonja. She's such a badass and so cool. Ew. I don't know what's going on there.
Okay, Jess, let me ask you this question.
Okay.
Would you rather go on a date with Red Sonja or Vampirella?
Red Sonja, what type of question is that?
I agree with Dom. Yeah, I think Red Sonja I'd like to go out with.
Okay, you guys ready? It's that time. Real or fake X-Men?
Give it to him, Dom.
All right. The rules of this game is whatever Jake said earlier. I give him 3 names. He has to figure out which 2 are right and which one is wrong. So I'm going to give it to him. So the 3 names of the X-Men.
There's your game show music.
Number 1 is none other than Forget-Me-Not. The second one, Random. And the third one, Forger.
Okay. Of those 3, Forger seems the most likely to me. I remember from a animated cartoon, if I'm not remembering, there's the group of the sewer mutants, right? There's the sewer they what are they called? They like hang out. Okay, isn't that just the politically correct way to say sewer mutants? Is that not what we call them anymore? Is that not politically correct? Chat, let me know.
Oh gosh, Jake's acting like Senator Kelly.
I said sewer. I'm gonna get canceled over saying sewer mutants, which is what everybody calls them.
So I'd like credit for knowing that they were the Morlocks, but go ahead.
But
you will.
Now that I think about it, I think I'm conflating things because Forager is the name of the bug from DC. The one that turned into a big ball, the Fourth World bug.
DC also has Thor in their universe, so that's
how many of these are fake?
One of them is fake, 2 of them are real.
2 of them are real. Okay.
So it was Forget-Me-Not, Random, and Forager. Am I allowed to ask? Wait, was that?
Did he say Forager or Forger?
Forger.
Forger. Not Forager. That's the DC
Why did
character.
you say that when I said the DC character? You could have corrected
No.
me.
I said Forger. Did I? If I accidentally put an A there, I
No,
didn't mean to.
You didn't. You said Forager.
I'm sorry. I'm all hopped up on Milkshake here. Okay, can I ask? I mean, let me just work this out. Have those characters ever interacted with each other? Are they from the same time period, or are those wildly different? Like one's from X-Men by Stan Lee, and the others from like a modern X-Men run, or are they all kind of from the same era?
They definitely all interacted with each other during Krakoa. So
I'm still in Genosha. I haven't got to Krakoa yet. The fact that
That's
these are
part
modern
of the game, man. I don't know. I didn't know any Transformers.
What I'm saying is, if it was like old mutant stuff, I feel like Forget-Me-Nots would seem more likely. But Krakoa is modern X-Men, right? Or at least the generation that we just ended. Let me work on what their powers would be. Forget-Me-Not, maybe I've already read about him, but he made me forget it. So I'm guessing Forger was me in high school when I was trying to get out of high school, and I would write notes for my parents to like say I was excused.
not the forgery.
Forger is the world's best notary, right? He's the notary republic who doesn't have to actually see clients. I'm gonna go with my gut and say random is not real.
Wow.
Random
is an actual character who is part of the X-Men universe.
Yes.
Okay, so then it's gotta be Forger that's not real.
You're correct. I was like, what if I thought of Forge, like the actual X-Men
That's
character,
what
and added an R to it to throw you off. Which
Was
I think
right?
it did.
Was Forge a sewer mutant, or was I wrong about that?
No, Forge creates things.
Yeah, he's like a
Create
big techno guy.
Yeah.
Oh, when he teams up with his best friend Anvil, they create weapons.
If I had a hat on my head, I'd just tip it to you.
That's funny.
There's probably an X-Men whose power is he can tip his hat also. Like, the X-Men are so ridiculous. I'm trying to get through Extinction Agenda, and I'm so lost because the only X-Men I've read is the first 3 issues of Uncanny X-Men 2. And apparently, there's a few books in between Uncanny X-Men 2 and Extinction Agenda that I missed. And I guess they're relevant. Like, I don't know. But I'll get there.
you eventually get to that, but there's also like a lot of issues before Extinction Agenda too. So
yeah. It was like the villainous character returns, and I'm like, I've never read his original appearance, so I don't know that he returns. It's new to me.
Hey, you know what? I can imagine, being in the, because in the late 80s, there still wasn't a jumping on point, right? Like now we have all these trade paperbacks.
Yeah,
where we can like go back and say, hey, we can read this, but late 80s, really wondering yourself, like if you just started reading comics, who are these guys again? Why do I care about the Morlocks or what, etc. So,
but is Forge a Morlock? Because I feel like I remember Storm talking to one in a sewer, or in one of the X-Men animated episodes. Does anyone remember which character she talks to?
She's probably talking to Callisto.
Yeah.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Is Callisto also real or fake? I don't know if I believe
Callisto
you.
Callisto is 100% real.
Okay. Well, walk me through what are their powers then? I need to know what their powers are. Now that I know which ones are real.
Forget-Me-Not is exactly what you think about, like, what's it called? You can't remember the guy. Like, that's the mutant superpower. It's like, oh, he's in the book. Wait.
Do they do something cool? Oh my gosh. Okay, maybe I'm writing a better story. Was he always around, but we didn't realize as a reader, and then they retcon like Forget-Me-Not's been here the whole time, but you as a reader, we just didn't remember. So it's like they show classic X-Men stories or moments like the most iconic moments of all the X-Men, and then like they show it with like Forget Me Not like shrugging in the background or something, because that would be wild if it's like for 20 years Forget Me Not was a member of the team that suited up with everybody else, but you, the reader, didn't remember him.
Yeah, sounds
That
about
would
right.
be rad. That's what they do?
No.
Oh, but that would be so cool.
That would be cool.
Like, Forget Me Not was just at every pivotal moment. It's literally like Marvels, you know what I mean? Where it's like that one photographer that was at all the iconic moments of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and but it's just Forget Me Not, and he was like, I was here too.
Right, yeah.
You just didn't remember.
That would be nice, honestly. Like a perfect use of the character's superpowers too.
Yeah. Okay. So how does Forget Me Not save people or like be heroic if like his power is just he doesn't make an impact, you know? Because I feel like that's a real boring superhero.
To
Like, I
be
can't
also
think of-
fair, he's only shown up in Spurrier written books. Like he showed up in the Spurrier X-Force, came around in 2014, 15. And then he was in a couple of issues of Way of X and Legion of X. And that's
those are Spurrier books too, right?
Yeah.
I felt like you gave me super hard ones, and you should have started me off a little bit easier.
I think you almost got it. I thought when you were like deducting Forger, I was like, oh shoot, he's gonna get it. Because
what it was I was remembering the New Mutant, not the New Mutant, the Fourth World Bug.
Yeah.
Turns into a ball.
World 4, yeah.
Okay. That's awesome. The following Morlock shows up in the X-Men. Callisto, maybe it was Leech. It was someone kind of gross. Mask, Sunder, Ananali, Ape, Scale. Okay, are we playing the game again? Because I got some guesses of which ones aren't real. That's the whole game. It's the most obscure characters in the world, but they're all real X-Men.
Which one isn't a Morlock? You know, that would be a game.
I don't even know what a Morlock is.
You were just talking about the sewer guys.
Are you sure, Spooey? There's one named Tar Baby. That is a very racist name from long ago.
Wait, no,
that's not right. There can't be one named that. Tar Baby. That's like back to Songs of the South type racism.
Bro, I don't think we can keep saying that word.
Yeah, I think I better stop.
I feel like if I Google it to see if it's real. Oh no! There was an animated cartoon from Song of the South.
Yeah,
Briar Fox, bro. I thought you were just saying.
Yeah, no, it's a real racist name,
dude. I feel like I'm gonna get some targeted ads after Googling this. I should have put X-Men.
That's really one of their names from the X-Men animated series.
Real,
like the one they just made. They used that word, that name. That blows my mind. What?
He produces a tar-like substance. That's.
Well, they could have called him something else. Wow.
What about Sap Baby? Sap Baby is not racist.
Tar spewer or something. Not.
Yeah.
Wow. That I am just blown away by that.
I think we're taking a break from Taco Bell because I had it twice last week. And, make that a thumbs down. I don't want a thumbs up for Taco Bell. I need a.
I've never had Taco Bell.
Never. Wow.
Well, I couldn't think of a better way for you to have it than have it on a stream with the three of us. Stop thumbs upping Taco Bell.
I had my arms crossed like this, and it kept reading.
Yeah, because your thumbs are sticking up. Put your thumbs away. Okay.
That was the first time I've had Taco Bell in probably 10 years.
10 years.
So let's workshop this game. So Dom, you should pick several real or fake mutants when we do the actual video of it. But like, let me ask like a question like is it more fun if I have no information to go off of and it's all me just trying to work it out? Or is it more fun if I go, okay, what are their powers? And it's like two truths and a lie. You like add to the story so that I have to believe what's real or not.
Spice it up. Oh, I like that.
Yeah. I'm down for that. It keeps popping up because Taco Bell. I don't know.
Because I keep going like this, I guess. Yeah, there it is. It keeps reading my.
He's like, I don't know why it's thumbs upping.
No, I wasn't doing that. I was just crossing my arms.
Okay, well, as long as we don't include that Morlock on real or fake
Yeah.
X-Men. Okay, so here's what we'll do. I have to guess who the real one or the fake one is. Bonus points if I can guess if it's like a modern run, an old run. Like if I can guess it's from the 80s or the 90s or something. I feel like that'll give me some bonus points, you know?
Okay.
But I feel good about guessing what are real and fake X-Men when we're ready for that.
What's the incentive here? Like, if you win, Dom has to read a book that you know to be terrible, like Batman
Has to try.
Cappany. And if you don't win, you have to read Batman Widening Gyre or something.
Hey, the best Kevin Smith story ever told. This is.
Oh my God!
I'm trying to be sarcastic. I'm trying to be sarcastic.
Oh, okay, thank you. I lost
win,
faith in you for a second.
I think if I win, I want Dom to try a Doritos Locos taco.
Oh, don't make it food related.
Oh, those are so
fine,
good. I could eat those every day. They're so good.
Okay, I don't know.
If Jake wins, Tom eats Taco Bell.
Yeah, I don't think that. I think that sounds like it's.
If I lose, how about this? If I lose, maybe I give out like an OPB gift card. If I win, he gives out a CGN gift card or something like that. That could be fun for a viewer, right? Weighs the stakes, so then they're rooting for me. I don't know. We'll work it out. If Jake wins, Dom eats Taco Bell. No, I'm not going to make him eat poison if he doesn't want to. I choose to eat poison.
Dom, did your dad make dinner tonight?
Yeah, he did. He made lumpia.
Ooh, what else? Just lumpia or anything else?
Lumpia. We had some type of beef stew with rice. So
nice lumpia. Whoa, so great.
Should we play this? He's saying we should play the same game. Jess quizzes
me. Gosh.
2 real and 1 fake Legion of superhero characters.
I need to reach out to Mark Wade to ask if he wants to play. That would be fun.
Oh, you couldn't play that with him. He'd
guess every single one.
Oh,
well, what if he's the one doing? What if he's the one like quizzing someone? Because he'll know all the characters.
I don't know. I don't know if I'm fast enough to play this game. I think I'd have to.
Yeah. I think that's a game Lars would be good at. Or
yeah.
Try to stump him at.
Let me see. I would have to consult 3 real, 2 fake. Yeah, I could probably. Oh God, these stories are so stupid.
Well, hopefully, there's just no characters in Legion of Superhero that are named like the Morlock.
Okay, hang on, I can do this. But you guys talk about something else, and I'll do this.
I did. There are still 2 videos I got to record tonight, but one of them is my overview on this thingy. Because I finally got to read the rest of it in apparent due time. Jake, I gotta ask you honestly, brother. How much of this have you read?
I have read the first Action Comics and the first Superman one before. This one, I skimmed through the pages and like the fun one was when he goes to the World's Fair. But dude, it is not my thing. It is a little dry, but like, I just try to be for me, my favorite way to collect that is they made a deluxe edition for Action Comics 1000 that has like the most key moments of Action Comics, you know? But I did not read the full book cover to cover before my video. So that, dude, and then I tried to get my video out the day that they sent me the books, and that it would have taken me weeks to get through.
I feel you there, because I only got through 1/3 of it before I had to put up the NMC one, And then I realized, wait, like that's Ultra Humanite, not Lex Luthor. And it's weird too because like you're reading these pages, and me, I like my dumb brain is just like that looks like Lex Luthor. There were a lot of moments where I had to tell myself when I was first reading this, like not through this, but when I was reading it on DC Universe Infinite, that's not Perry White, that's not Lex Luthor. Those aren't the people that you're used to seeing. This is late 30s superhero comics that you're reading. And within the context of the times. And it's also like a lot of these stories too. And they were pretty much extended Sunday comic book strips. But in your regular whatever their experimental comic book format was, because obviously this was still the comic book industry in its infantile stage. Yeah, they hadn't developed what serial storytelling was going to be and was evolving into. So it's a lot of Siegel trying to do stuff, which is like, every single panel there's always something happening. Most of the kicks I did get from this, I did enjoy it. Anyways, sorry.
No, keep going. That was. I'll read the comment afterwards. So you said which one did you enjoy?
There were a couple of, there were like at least there were 6 issues in there that I really really liked. Everything else I think was give or take. I enjoyed the Schuster art because I love the panels of him drawing Superman as he's just like bulldozing through people. I love every single time Superman has to like go undercover or something, I always enjoyed those stories. And I also like the ads for the hey kids, get healthy.
Yeah, don't eat Taco Bell because the YouTube live streamers tell you to.
Exactly. So yeah, I have a much bigger appreciation for what they were trying to do, which is, Superman as the ultimate socialist superhero in the late 30s, 40s, and eventually the template for who he was going to be, and as the inspiration for literally every single superhero after that. It just took me a long time to get through it. I just finished.
Do you read the description box and the words, or do you just read the words?
Oh, see, I know the trick of. I think what you're alluding to is like, usually the box will tell you what's going on.
Yeah, it'll be like Lex Luthor is about to steal 40 cakes, and that's terrible. And then in the image, it'll be Lex Luthor being like, "I have 40 cakes, and I'm stealing them." Like, I feel like you can just look at the panel and the words that they're saying, and you're smart enough to figure it out, But sometimes there's great narration in those. Like a lot of the old, like some of the Marvel Tashin ones, like Stan Lee was a wordsmith, But
yeah, but I think the other thing with that though is like some of the progression. One of the issues is Clark going undercover for a guy who tried to commit suicide because he got drugged by his boss. He was a boxer jumping off a building, and Clark was like, "Hey, why are you falling off of a building?" And the guy is just like, "Hey, I don't know. I felt bad."
Is that when he puts the boxing suit on?
He goes undercover as the guy. Like he makes his hair and everything else exactly like the guy. It's in the Superman issue number 2. But there are some moments in there where I try to, do the skippage, and my brain could not put 2 and 2 together. I had to reread some of those panels to make sure I wasn't missing anything. Because some of them it'll tell you like, oh, like the reporters are leaving, or this person is doing this. But again, it's comics in the 30s, and I never expected it to be honed in perfect. Especially these things that were made for 5-panel strips on a Sunday cartoon newspaper, not a 64-pager featuring Superman.
So then I guess my question is, do you think it was smart or not smart for that to be the Superman in Finest Edition? And if you didn't think it's where they should have had the first Finest Edition for Superman, what do you think should have been?
I think if they wanted to start off with something, start off with DC Finest Superman, I probably would have started at Man of Steel and onwards. Because I think this acts more as an historical artifact than it does for a good jumping on point for readers. I have such a big appreciation for what Siegel and Schuster did, right, to not only show the violence with crime in the middle of cities as told from an immigrant's perspective, and also again as Superman being the ultra socialite hero that he was in the 30s. It's just that if you are like a reader like me, or maybe even just a little bit older, and you're going through all of this, it's like I would want to see some of these comics like foiled it like widescreen, like an actual Sunday comic panel, instead of reading it like a comic, because I do think it somewhat lends into more of that, and it's also just, you know, like jumping into Batman, right? If you're jumping into Batman 401, you won't have that big of an issue because it's a modern comic. You won't be as confused or stopped multiple times like you were with this. That's just my personal opinion. Again, I have a big appreciation for it. I just think that, yeah, you could have started on Man of Steel, and I think they would have done something cooler there. But that's just me.
And on that note, it's time for real or fake Legion of Superhero. Da, 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 da.
Okay.
Brought to you by the adorable Omnidog and his co-host Dupe.
3 of these are real. 2 of these are fake.
Oh no! You gave me 5. You couldn't have just gave me 2 real, 1 fake.
No, in the chat it said 3 and 2.
That's right.
Okay. Give me worse odds. I think I don't know the math behind it.
Okay, we have Lightning Lad.
Okay.
Shadow Kid. Insect Queen. Starboy, and Blockade.
Okay, so let me work through what I know.
Do you want me to read them again?
Let me knock out the ones I don't need. So Lightning Lad is like the main one. Starboy, could he control?
He's a Legion of Superhero.
Yeah, Starboy can control.
Don't tell him, Dom.
Oh, wait.
He's
Yeah,
guessing.
No, he's definitely not a Legion of Superhero.
No.
Sorry, now I gotta find another one.
No, I knew Starboy because Starboy can control mass, right? Like he can make things heavy, or like he can change density. So I don't know. Insect Queen. What was the other ones besides Insect Queen?
Blockade and Shadow Kid.
Okay. Insect Queen, Blockade, and Shadow Kid. I'm leaning to Blockade being the real one because that seems. What do I know? There's Bouncing Boy, Brainiac 5, Matter Eater Lad.
Bouncing Boy. And
Okay,
Matter
Jake.
Eater.
Okay, I see you.
And then Lightning Lad had a brother, right?
He had a sister.
I think
Lightning Lass.
I think he had a sister and a brother, but I don't know. I'm gonna go. I feel like Insect Queen's the real one, but it feels the fakest to me. But it's also nonsense, like all the Legion names are. So it was Blockade. Blockade almost sounds more like an X-Men, but I could see some. My power is I can block things. I'm Blockade, you know. But I feel like Blockade would have something like Blockade Buster or like some sort of like Blockade Boy or something that would like, because I feel like a lot. It was like Lightning Lad or Matter Eater Lad or Star Boy. There's nothing tells me Blockade's gender. So Insect Queen, Blockade, and I can't even remember what was the third one? Dark
Shadow King. Shadow Kid. Shadow Kid.
I'm gonna say I'm gonna just go out on a limb and say Blockade is not real.
And who else is not real?
Can I know or no?
No, you have to. Okay, yeah, Blockade is not. Blockade is a superhero, but he is not in the Legion of Superheroes.
Nice. So I was right because most of them have like something in their name that denotes their gender, right?
Sure. Yeah.
Or maybe not. Or like I don't know. Is lad a gender? That means boy, right? I think. it
Yeah,
does.
Lightning Lad and his sister Lightning Lass.
Okay, so lass means girl. Queen means girl. Insect Queen, there's a lot of aliens. They're all about, like, because I remember the story of Action Comics where that guy came out and was like, Superman wasn't an alien. He fought against aliens and like kind of rewrote their story. And Clark had to help them. I'm gonna say Insect Queen. No, Insect Queen is fake.
So you say Blockade and Insect Queen are fake?
Yes.
Shadow Kid is fake. He was a real superhero, but not a legion of superheroes. Insect Queen was what happened to Lana Lang, Superboy's girlfriend. She was granted insect powers by an alien race.
What are the powers of an insect? You get stepped on by everything?
Grasshopper Girl.
Wait, is that where the Grasshopper Gang come from? Does she lead them?
No.
Wait, is there ever an insect?
Insects? Human Firefly, Grasshopper Girl, Dung Beetle or something. She turns into a bunch of.
And there was never.
She was popular for a while. So
she was popular.
Well, she had a lot of stories because she was Lana Lang. So she had a lot of stories.
Okay. I think I did okay.
You got Blockade, yeah. And then
Blockade,
you were given Starboy by Dom, who forgot.
I thought
I
was no. Because how would I know his power if I didn't know who Starboy was?
He's, just so you know, he's in the substitute Legion of Superheroes, but he still counts as a Legion of Superheroes. There was a backup squad of Legion of Superheroes,
which
they couldn't cut it as real ones.
I vaguely remember that from the Jeff Johns Action Comics thing, where Clark goes to help the Legion. Like the real Legion. The bad guys, and the substitute Legion were the actual heroes who were aliens.
Yeah, he's also in the relaunch of Justice Society, the 2007 run, which is in the Omnibus Volume 3 of the JSA Omnis.
This can't be real. I get marrying Jimmy Olsen off to a gorilla once, but thrice? Come on, comics.
Yeah, Jimmy Olsen was really crazy. And I just found out that that's going to be a DC finest, Jimmy Olsen. The early crazy stuff where he turns into Turtle Boy and Elastalad and all these crazy things. I think it's May. I am definitely getting that. And I don't recommend that. Might be one you want to send me to review. I wouldn't put that on you to review.
I did this one, and you know what?
He got through by reading through 2 issues of Superman Golden Age. By the way, guys,
can I tell you guys a secret? I actually think sometimes it's easier to overview a book you've read some of more than it is easy to read a book you've read all of, because then you know enough to actually spoil things. People are so like serious about spoilers. When I've read a whole omnibus or a whole book and I'm trying to do an overview, which is supposed to be a first look to help someone decide if they're going to buy it or not, I almost trip up on myself because I have so much information I'm trying to get out because I've read the full book that it's harder, because then I accidentally spoil things versus like if you've read 2 issues of Superman, how can I spoil the whole thing, you know? But
I'm just saying, remember Superman Silver Age that you were so excited about?
I got through the first 2 issues.
Jimmy Olsen.
You got through 2 issues and never read it through.
Jimmy Olsen's the exact same style. I'm definitely getting it because I can't believe it got collected. I'm excited for that.
Would you get a Grasshopper Gang omnibus?
No, I would not. You don't even know who they are.
Tell me about them. Teach me. I want to learn.
They even stole the Batmobile. That's how crazy that book was.
Wait, they succeeded where Jason Todd failed?
By reindeers.
Yeah, the Grasshopper Gang. Somehow this was this was part of the Batman 66 era, and they fought the Grasshopper Gang, and then they looked, and like Mr. Grasshopper was in the Batmobile driving it away, which I was like, what? And yeah,
Does he
that's
get it back, or does they just end the issue there and Batman just has it in the next issue?
They got it back, but that's why I always promote
Not
the
the
Neil
pimping
Adams
by Jess.
the Neil Adams Denny O'Neil one, because it was clunky
Yes.
art and goobery villains. The Joker was just like a Joker. He just joked around and stole money from jewelry stores, stole jewels from jewelry stores by having a prankster little guy working with him. He was not the murderous psychopath he is today. He was like a pie throwing clown.
So he wouldn't be like the Joker in this
No,
book.
he would not be.
They're two completely different characters.
Yeah,
Snyder, I think, just
three of them.
he's
Oh,
had a
Joker's
lot of
okay.
iterations.
What I want more than anything is give me a Gaggy omnibus. Gaggy is my favorite DC character.
That's who he had in that era helping him.
See, people say, am I Jess's or am I Omnidog's Jason Todd? That's not true. Am I Omnidog's Jimmy Olsen? No, I am Omnidog's Gaggy. Dude, how awesome was the Gaggy backstory that they have in the Paul Dini Batman omnibus, where he's jealous of Harley Quinn, so he pretends to be the Joker and goes after them, and like then you get a tragic backstory to Gaggy, and it's like he was a member until the Flying Graysons stole his act or whatever, and like Gaggy's in prison, and he's waiting for, and then he sees Joker with Harley Quinn, and he's heartbroken. I loved it.
Somewhere in my collection, and I think I can put my hands on it. I kept the introduction. It's the key appearance, the first key appearance of Gaggy.
Okay,
I think you showed that during a Batter Days I was on, Jess. I want to say. I think you showed it during a Batter Days I was on with you.
Oh, okay.
I remember.
So
you
anyway.
write that one issue for me in your will. Can I have the key appearance of Gaggy someday in like 30 years after you've read all of Bronze Age Batman with the original colors?
Maybe it's on the spinner rack. Maybe that's how I was able to grab it.
My favorite line, I can't even say it because it's a curse word, but he goes, "That's Gaggy's S. Gagsworth to you," and he calls her a curse word. But like, I love that his name's Gaggy's S. Gagsworth.
Gaggy.
Give me a Gaggy absolute. Dom, do you have any cool books that you're overviewing soon for NMC?
I'm not doing it for NMC, but I do got this. Feels like a long
Nice
time
for
coming.
cover trends. Is that the cover you wanted, or
Well, I'm meeting Jim Lee next year, so
nice?
I'm gonna get this signed by him, or hopefully, anyways. As far as other book, I do have hold on, you know what? Let me get it. It's right next. This will be up on the channel tomorrow at some point. It's the Memetic Memetic hardcover. I just got finished with it not too long ago, but I was so busy I didn't even bother like writing in a script. Hopefully this doesn't make it out to NMC, but I had Taylor help me figuring out stuff to say during the overview.
Yeah.
I don't know if I was a fan of the ending. I think for a Tynan series, I'm definitely like surprised. I'm surprised it's gotten under the radar, and it's also like me, like at the time I was reading Tynan stuff in Scott Snyder's Batman, and also like Talon, like that was the era that this book came out, right? So me reading this, it's like, oh, this is definitely a lot more interesting than Tynan's superhero stuff that he was doing. It's not my favorite of his, but I will be doing an overview of it. That'll be up on NMC tomorrow afternoon at some point. And then I got one more package. I just don't remember what was in it. But I think the main thing, I'm just happy I finally got my first two. I still also prefer this material over the stuff in this material. I think and Wonder Woman should be coming in at some point too, even though I've already read all the stuff in it. Actually, I think that's the one thing I'm happy about for these books is that I've read all the stories that are going to be collected in them for the most part. So at least I know what to say. to people.
Yeah.
And Omar even told me, because you know, he wants to classify them as first views instead of overviews, which
Yeah,
I'm like,
first looks.
hey, yeah, I'm like, cool. I can cut the video shorter. They can be 12 minutes long, and I can just speed through the pages. Okay.
I got a comment today about my video on the finest first look, and I felt like it was kind of like a weird tone, but I talked about how happy I was that there was visual consistency across the books. Like they look great on a shelf. And the person goes, why is there a heavy focus on looking amazing on the shelf? That seems to trump reading the content and force a lot of FOMO so you buy more than you'll ever read. And I was like, that was not my point. I was just happy that the spines don't make me anxious.
Yeah. I think the one nitpick, if I had anything to say about the spines, because the DC logo is circular and it's not rectangular like Marvel's, there's already a let me see if I can straighten
like where
them
they look a little like different heights.
Well,
right?
yeah, the DC logos are different sizes. Like the Superman logo, because it's 30 pages smaller, its logo is already going to be smaller than the Batman logo. So there's going to be some variation on how small those millimeter differences are between each of the finest books due to its size. Again, it happens because the DC logo isn't rectangular.
There have been way worse books. But to answer New Spooey's question, he ordered 5 books from OPB in the last 2 weeks. But what would he do if he wanted to order 4 more? If you're buying 1 or 3, you can save $2 with the code Braveboys, or 4 more, save 5% with the code Braveboys, SIT, or use any other YouTuber's code. I am agnostic now. I just want you to order from OPB and support my friends. So there's no wrong code to do, except for a 5th of Jack's code. I am not typing that in with my keyboard. That is an inappropriate code.
How is it like working for or with for whatever the preposition is?
My job title keeps getting bigger because like sometimes like he's putting too much faith in me. He goes, "Hey man, what do you think the comic book landscape's going to be like next year, like in the state of the economy?" And I told him my thoughts, and he goes, "So you think I should rent that second warehouse?" And I go, "I don't know. Like, why are you asking me?" He's like, "I want your opinion, man. I trust it." And I was like,
He's like,
yes.
I'm a comic book YouTuber. I'm not a realtor.
Yeah. I'm like, I am not a financial advisor. You know what I mean? And like, he was like, "Okay, Jake, you're right. I am going to rent that second warehouse." I'm like, I didn't say to do that. I know how to post photos on Instagram. I've really helped out their social media engagement. But like I was like, I was like, "Hey man, can you cash me out this gift card? Jordan wants to buy a book." And he goes, "Oh, the sale ended." There, I just gave you administrative access to run sales and access to to send out gift cards to other YouTubers. Go take care of Jordan. And it's like, extend the sale by an hour. I was like, I don't know how to do these things. So I'm like fidgeting on the website, and I extended the sale an hour. But like, it's fun because with my career, I don't think I'm ever going to truly get where I want just at my one company. But if I grow and get a lot of side gigs and then make my company a client instead of my work, that's like the best way for me to move up. And it's cool because like I don't have to really buy comic books anymore, which is really nice.
Oh no, that's
amazing
part. That's where I'm at. See, I think we're both in the same boat, Jake, where it's like
and I'm out in the water drowning. Thank you.
We're gonna send you the Silver Age World's Finest. And Wonder Woman Volume 6 from the Golden Age. No, I'll take care of you. I take care of you all the time.
I know. I'm messing with you.
JP down. The other YouTubers, they're out in the cold.
I know. I'm just jacking with you. Just jacking it up or whatever he said.
Don't say that. That's too close to his code. Jake, are you Jess's project manager? He couldn't afford. Oh no, he couldn't afford me. I was his intern until I messed up the first video I ever edited from him because Jess uploaded the video to Google Drive and it said processing, and I clicked download, and I didn't realize that if you download the video before it's done processing, it has gaps or like skips in the video. So I thought Jess had recorded it wrong, and I uploaded it and ruined his views, and never again was I his intern.
That's funny.
He was my intern, but then he got too busy with JP. Now I can't even get thumbnails from him.
Get thumbnails from Dom. We'll take turns.
Dom's got a contract with Very Fine. He doesn't have time for me.
It's
I'm gonna have to
unfortunately
put.
true.
I'm gonna have to put upper management to work again.
I don't leave you in the cold. I said you can have that Thundercats omnibus.
Hey, I want a blanket. Hold on. It's getting colder here in California.
Yeah,
I've actually upper management. I haven't seen her all day, so she is upstairs. So I have to hop. But I love both you guys, and I
Well, where can
appreciate.
they find you?
They
before
can
you
find me
go?
on Omnidog's Vault on YouTube, Omnidogs_Vault on Instagram, and I have a Discord, Omnidogs Discord. So I appreciate being on. I love you guys both. This has been fun. The chat was great. Thank you for inviting me. Peace and love. Peace and love.
Bye, John.
Thank you guys.
Bye. I'm bad with social situations. Are you staying on 2 for longer, Dom, or do you also?
If
have
you
to
want
go?
me to,
Let's do it.
I just need to record 2 more videos and my night's over. So,
Dude, I don't know if you saw in our group messages the other day, we recorded 3 overviews, full overviews, and we bake our audio into the overhead shot, so
Right.
I don't have to sync anything.
Mhm.
And the microphone didn't turn on, so it recorded with the internal mic in front in the camera, so it sounds like I'm 6 feet away, and I don't know if I'm gonna just dub the audio over or if we're just gonna reshoot everything. But I'm leaning toward because like one of them, Jordan, did the overview, so it would be his hands and my voice. I feel like that would look ridiculous, dude.
Oh yeah. I remember you guys talking about that. Dude, that sucks. It like
because
weird
I get a large
malfunctions like that happen, but it's
I
like
hate that, dude.
that sucks, dude.
And like we were on a good schedule, so now my pile of books to do overviews on is getting way bigger, and it feels intimidating. So
It's I mean, considering the amount of workload that you're adding yourself or onto yourself, right, for the next however many or so weeks, you never want to get to a spot where it feels like here, I'll give you an example. I have read, I want to say 75% of the books that are in this ever-growing stack of singles. A lot of them is material that like I've gone on my own to read because I still buy comics. But others it's like, hey, I want to check it out. Whoever I'm interviewing, I want to tell them, hey, I'm buying your book. I'm enjoying it, or I just I was like, hey, I'll go to my comic shop and do it. But man, it's not fun. The higher your pile like goes up, the more I think anxiety people just normally get.
This is my pile right now.
Yeah. Oh,
mine
gosh.
are a little bigger than those single issues, but a lot of them, some of them I read before. Like I only have to read some of this. I'm gonna read a couple issues of the Space Traveling Heroes because I've read Hard Traveling Heroes before. This I've already read, so I'll reshoot that video. The one I'm really looking forward to. I've never read a Punisher book before, so this will be my first Punisher book.
Oh, nice! It's a lot wilder than your regular Punisher because of the Max imprint, but
yeah. So Max means it's like Marvel's adult stuff, right?
Yep, Marvel's adult stuff, and dudes. And when Ennis was on Max, that title went from like your usual like 110 to like crank it up, whatever exponential. It's not exactly, how do I describe it? It's just, I'll just say it's not your typical Punisher, but I think you're gonna have some fun with it. If you like Jason Aaron, I think you'll like it.
For me, the only Punisher experience I have is the appearances of the Deadpool on the Daredevil show and the Punisher show. So for me, I have nothing to compare it to.
And I think that's okay. I think there are some like comic book characters and comic book like holes that we all have where we just don't have as much experience with some of those characters as much as others. Like for me, like I'm a Titans guy.
Some are bigger than others.
Right, exactly. Some of those holes are bigger than others, right? So it's I think in the case of there's nothing wrong with approaching and saying, hey, like I've never read this. You have like other people to pick you up, or it's a different viewpoint than say like a comic book expert like would see and go through. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
And if you don't have holes, you can't play fun games like guess the real or fake X-Men or guess the real or fake Legion, you know? Like comic books is a marathon, not a race.
Exactly.
I wanted to ask you though, of the 5 first finest editions, which one are you most looking forward to? Or which one do you think is the one you're most excited about?
Are we just talking about this month for November?
Or what I just meant, like, so of the 5 that I have the Superman, Flash, JLA, Justice League, Batman, and Wonder Woman. Which one are you looking forward to most?
I want to reread some of those.
Plastic Man was the one overall you're most excited for.
Yeah, a lot of those not under the radar characters, but just very much overlooked characters. I felt like those got, the side of me, because I was like, I don't know much about the older comics. I want to experience them and see, like, hey, like, this is what Jack Cole was doing for Plastic Man or something like that. For the 5 ones that are out this month, you know what? I'm actually going to say Justice League of America. My thing with that book, well, I just like Justice League of America, Silver Age in general. I think that there is not just in a historical context, right? Because Gardner Fox and Mike Sekowsky's JLA is the template for literally every single comic event we have now. We don't have Crisis on Infinite Earths if we don't have JLA. We don't have Secret Wars if we don't have that book. We don't have everything that happened in the last 5, 10, 15 years from either company without that book. So not only that, I do think Mike Sekowsky is the most underrated Silver Age artist. I don't think anyone talks about him when you're because we're interested in the Kurt Swans and the Jose Luis Garcia Lopez's, the Carmine Infantinos, the Neil Adamses, like those guys of the world. No one ever talks about Mike Sekowsky. He is I think he might be the most underrated illustrator of that era. So I think for that, I'm gonna say JLA. Because I just finished Golden Age Superman again, like tonight. I've already read the stuff in Batman, and I love Max Allan Collins' Batman. No one ever talks about it. But yeah, JLA would probably be my pick of the 5. Long-winded answer, but that's how I feel.
Of the ones that I've never read before, the one that when I was flipping through getting ready, the one I'm most excited for is the Flash one. Like, I feel like there's so many iconic key appearances in it. And like it's like him meeting Mirror Master, him meeting Captain Cold, and him meeting the other Flash. I feel like that was just such a ingenious place to start the Flash Finest editions.
It's also like if you're looking from like the perspective of what comics were like in the late 50s, right? I mean, DC was quite like what DC was then. I mean, they were literally on the verge of collapse. Like, readership had gone down. The usual people who were reading their books because of World War II, because of the start of the Cold War, like the people who were reading those books, they weren't there anymore. They had to completely shake up whatever was going on because of that, on top of the Comics Code Authority, couldn't get a book out. So this editor, right, with the guy by the name of Julius Schwartz, just goes in and says, yeah, let's change literally everything that we have for some of our characters. And Flash was one of them. And you go from, now I love Jay Garrick as a character and as one of the elder statesmen in the DCU. I've read him through so many different modern books. And obviously, I think he should get his respect, but frankly, you are not going to get past a lot of supervillains in the suit that he's wearing, right? So it's like, hey, we got to change the Flash's jumpsuit. We got to change the way that he runs, the way that he acts as a character, right? Not just like part of the JSA for America. No, like, let's radicalize the character. You get Barry Allen and you see him zooming in, and it was a big success for DC. And like everything that you mentioned there with all of the different villains, yeah, you don't get Wade Flash if you don't have Julius Schwartz entering in and saying, like, we need to do something different with the book. And on top of that, the dynamism of the zooming panels that Carmine Infantino draws in Silver Age is, I mean, it quite literally is a near perfect Silver Age. I get where I completely get where you're coming from with the this is why I'm hyped for it the most, because it's awesome stuff.
From what I was seeing as I was flipping through and skimming it before for the video, that Silver Age character or run at least seems a lot more palatable than Silver Age Superman was, which just seemed impossible to get through for me. Yes, I think for me, like, I'm not a super old comic book fan, but I did get those older Marvel Tashins because it's crazy to me that these first interpretations of the characters are so accurate to like what we know of in the modern day. You look at Golden Age Superman, he's super different than modern Superman, you know, but at least that Silver Age Flash feels like there's like a through line to the Flash that I know. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Because Silver Age Superman, I mean, they were just trying to figure out what to do. Literally no one knew what to do with Clark at that point. And even worse for Lois. Like, if you want to compare, that's actually another thing that I do really appreciate about Golden Age Superman. For a 30s, 40s character, Lois Lane was written a lot better than a lot of the females in that era. Again, like, which is saying something. I'm not gonna rehash what because I think like an era where females and women just overall in general, right, like, got the right to vote like 15-20 years before Superman was created as a concept. Just to see that, like, Lois was there being very uptight and having an actual character, like, stands up for herself, isn't just the damsel in distress 24/7. There were like the feistiness to her. There was something there to be had. Lois completely loses all of that in the Silver Age. And when you get to Flash, right, it's a completely different character, completely different. Like, it's not you reading Jay Garrick, it's you're reading a brand new Flash for the first time and getting to see what these types of characters can do when they're given their own lane to run, no pun intended. And I think for new readers, it's a nice jumping on point that isn't your Wade, your Johns, your Manipul, Williamson, Barron. So I can see why it would appeal to people like you and a lot of people who are trying to get into Flash just overall in general.
Yeah, it seemed like it was older history, but also there was a modern through line, or at least like it felt like the first interpretation of the character that I loved. But it is getting kind of late, and I should probably give my cats some playtime. So, Dom, where can they find you? Many channels now, many avenues. I want to say one quick fun story though. I talked up your website to my co-host a lot, and he finally got it the other day because he was like looking at upcoming releases. And he goes like, I don't even know what other omnibuses are coming out here this month. And I was like, well, click the omnibus button. He goes, you can filter by format? And it like blew his mind. And I go, yeah, dude, you can choose. Like, he even added formats that I specifically requested. That, like,
we're adding everything.
He goes, you didn't tell me that you could filter by and that now he's using your website all the time.
Oh man, that's super. Hey, whoever that person is, we can talk maybe off cam, but like, big thank you.
Yeah, it's Jordan, my cameraman.
Oh, I see. Yeah, it's no, it's something that Webhead and I are proud of, but we do, and because of we do, you know what I will say, we actually do want to compete with other trackable sites now. And I think it's super important not just to have like the big books there, but also all the compacts are on there now. Like all the formats that you could think of from both big two companies, and we're working on putting even more in with the independent ones.
I don't think I saw Tashin on there.
We'll put it in. We're running through and trying to figure out how to best do everything, but I promise you by the end of the month everything should be in. So
your website is invaluable as not just a fan, but as a content creator, because I have to send a list to JP of what books I want each week to cover. So without you, I would be lost, man.
Oh no, I appreciate it. It's always up to date. You never have to worry about something being like later added. And on top of that, we hate ads. Everyone does. We earn literally no money off of the site, but we're very happy that
I'm in charge of marketing now for OPB, so I saw your guys' affiliate earnings.
I'm talking about ad revenue.
Ads.
I'm talking about ad revenue. We earn no ad revenue from the site.
Yeah, which is awesome. But I was like, as a little YouTuber, I was like, I wanted to make that much affiliate. You guys, people love your website, which is awesome.
Hey, appreciate it. But yeah, you can find me on Comic Releases, obviously, where I do a lot of the front end work. Webhead is the back end guy. If you want to get technical with the software tech terminology, but you can also find me on my YouTube channel at Dom of X, where I am close to 2,200 subs, which I never would have imagined I would even be in the spot. But you can find me there, and yeah, have fun. Talk to me about whatever.
Heck yeah. Everyone keep reading and stay brave.